Okay,
Who's
I was
this?
hoping that I was hoping that noise went away before you put me on, because you know it's getting warm outside, so the block is turned up.
Listen, everybody's AC is on, the dogs are barking, the neighbors are arguing. I know, Lily, I know. I was even, it's funny that you say that because earlier today I was like, should we start the block later? Because people are spending more time outside. We're gonna have to do a poll and see when people want to pull up to the block because we want to be here for the peoples. With that said, welcome to another episode of On the Block with Jen. I'm YouTube's bad girl, your favorite devil's advocate, Jen. You can reach me on all social media platforms, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, on the block with Jen at Gmail. If you want to contact us about business, on the block with Jen at Gmail. That is where you go in. I promise I'm gonna get back to some of y'all. I got some people waiting for some collabs. I'm gonna get back to some of y'all. Mama's been a little busy, okay? I don't multitask as well as I used to because there's a lot more on the plate. However, I am gonna get back to y'all, okay? Lily, let the people know where to find you and let them know about Block Talent Battle every Saturday. Oh, tonight's gonna be juicy. I got some visuals you are not going to believe, but
Oh, I love good visuals.
yes,
All
yes.
right. You can find me at YB Limited, which is down here on the screen right there. And that's the letter Y, the letter B, the word limited. It is a fabulous, fabulous journey. Okay. You can find me on YouTube and on Instagram as well as TikTok. Those are the places you're going to find me. You will also find us here every Saturday night. Block Talent Battle. It is the hottest thing on YouTube. We're the only one. So look, if you see anyone else doing it after now, know it came from the block, okay? So we're inviting all talent to come out. We don't care what your talent is, as long as it doesn't get us banned from YouTube, okay? That's the only line. But we want you to come out and compete for $100. Unfortunately, and maybe fortunately, Jen and I are not able to vote, but the chat is going to be the ones who are going to vote for you. So I'm going to tell you how you cheat. You invite as many people to come support you as possible, to come vote for you. And if they want to do more than one vote, they will have to do that with the super chat. And each dollar equals a vote for you. All right. So we'll see you on Saturday.
Absolutely. And when Lily says any talent, we mean any talent. We've had a drummer, a beatboxer, singers, rappers, actors, and comedians.
And
So,
poets.
and poets. So when
Yeah.
we say any talent, we mean any talent. And listen, we'd like to get more ladies up here. So if you twerk or pole dance, whatever it is you do, whether you do comedy, you know what I mean? We'd like to see more ladies up here every Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern. And I already got, again, like I said, I already got some people in the inboxes ready to come and compete or battle, as we say on the block, this Saturday. So you guys got to be here because you guys vote. We don't vote. We just judge. We don't vote. We
That's
don't.
it.
Yeah.
Yes. We're
Sometimes I
going to
wish
be.
we could vote, but
I
we can't.
know.
We
Because
can't
I be
vote.
feeling the way. I be wanting to, I'm like,
Right? Yeah,
it's my
we can't do.
baby.
Our hands are tied, and sometimes I'm like, no, I want this person to win, but we do not vote. We don't pick the winner here. You guys have the power to pick the winner. The power is in your hands to
Yes.
vote. We're just here. We're just hosting. Okay.
And it's funny because I'm kind of glad about that, because it's like sometimes I might look up and like, well, it hasn't happened yet. It hasn't, I
Mhm.
don't think. But one of our friends can come up and it's like, oh,
Right.
I'm glad I'm out of it. I'm out of
Right.
it.
Yeah, and that's another thing. We have a lot of talented friends. Listen, pull up. We still can't vote for you though.
Can't
It's,
help
it's the
you.
power of the people. It's the power of the people. Hello, Haran Marco.
What's up? What's poppin'?
What's up,
What's
Haran?
poppin'? Do
How
you
you doing?
know? Do you know,
No.
you guys? Uh, Star from the Star Report shared our bonnet episode. Okay, our bonnet episode from last night. We went in on the bonnets. Okay, bonnet, whether it was a fashion statement or social stance, because women are so hardcore about they wearing their bonnets. And Star from the Star Report shared it today. So I'm sure we're gonna have some people creeping on over to see who and we is over here.
Shout
Okay,
out
they're
to
gonna
Yeah,
Star.
I
come.
got the alert. I was like, oh, Star. Okay. Well, I was okay. Thank
Definitely
you,
shout out
Star.
to Star.
Shout out to Star. He's actually a big supporter of the block. And he's also helping us to promote Block Talent Battle. Okay, so he's all over the block. He may not pull up a lot, but he peeking. Okay, he peeking at his kids. That's what he calls all of us, his kids.
I love it.
He peeking at. He say he don't have any biological kids, but he got a lot of other kids. And let me tell you, that man does check in like a father. He's like, "What are you doing? What is going on? Did you do this? How are you doing that?" He's the reason why I got a mic. Okay, so. Yeah,
Definitely one of the OGs, man.
Definitely. I mean, the original shock jock, a lot of podcasters today, a lot of rappers really modeled themselves after Star. And Star was controversial and they were trying to cancel him way back in the 90s. So he is the original. He is the OG of all of this stuff that we do now. So I'm honored. Yes. That he even noticed me, noticed what I put together, and gives us nothing but love and support, straight up business. So I am honored. Salute to Star. He's going to have a wild show tonight that I'm so pissed off I'm not going to be able to be a part of, but I will catch the replay and I will share it as well. So shout out to Star. Ladies and gentlemen, so glad to see you. We invite, hold on, what? Oh, okay. That was weird. Okay, guys, also, you are welcome to come up. You're welcome to come up and argue with us, okay? Come on up. Yeah, don't be scared. This is the block, okay? This is the block. Don't be scared, all right? We ain't gonna chase you off the block unless we have to, and we tolerate a lot. We put up with a lot. Of you guys have seen before. We put up with a lot of bullshit because we have tough skin, and we know people get emotional, right? Sometimes we get emotional. But with that said, you got to say it with your face. We don't argue with avatars up here. We don't do punks up here, okay? So you got to say it with your face. Click the link. Bring your ass on up here if you want to argue about this topic tonight, okay? We're willing to hear it, whether you're a man or a woman. Tonight's topic is, do men who cater to women do better in life? And I know what you guys are thinking. Nah, man, because when you cater to a woman, she will fuck you over. And the men that cater to women are simps, right? But that sentiment, right? We hear it a lot from men who are single, who are angry, who are vitriolic, right? It's usually not a happily married man pointing out simps elsewhere, right? With that said, there are people who are married and still miserable and resentful of the opposite sex. Don't let the rings fool you, okay? Because trauma that is not dealt with is just transferred to something else. So you can have a ring on your finger and still hate the opposite sex. We have seen it. We have seen it. You could be married and still have a lot of issues with the opposite sex. We've seen it up here where guys are mad at something Lily says or something I say. And I'm like, are you married, sir? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, why the fuck aren't you sitting somewhere with your wife? Why are you worried about what we want?
Arguing with another woman besides your wife. That's weird.
Okay.
Maybe that's the point, though.
Possibly. Like he'd rather be arguing with one of us in his home. Not going to happen. There was this guy in the comments recently. He was like, oh yeah, I ain't wasting my time over here. I got a wife and women I could talk to. And then he spent the next hour in my comment section. So, I'm sorry to flip it on the women, but the only thing I can gather is the women you're talking about don't stimulate you the way I do. And that's okay. We could talk about that too, baby.
Yeah, what's nothing wrong with that? Right?
We had a guy come up here and admit that that's why he's over here. And he didn't agree with anything I said. Thought I was a racist.
I respect him for that.
We got to respect the truth tellers, right?
I got to respect him for that.
He told the truth. He told the truth. Let's get into it, you guys. Is there anything popping?
It's very masochistic, kind of, when you think about it. Like, why show up to this person? Because it's like, yeah, you're showing up and you're being emotionally triggered by someone, but you think the person is attractive. It sounds very sub BDSM-ish. You know what I mean?
Wait a minute. Am I an involuntary dominatrix?
I think that's what a lot of this shit is going on. We got some pay pickies out here, throwing shit in the stupid chat to get, to get insulted and shit like that.
Is that what's been going on, unbeknownst to me?
Yeah,
Am I an involuntary dominatrix? Yeah, I wonder about that because, there's a couple of men that have been up here and it's just we've had horrible interactions and they come back to have some more horrible interactions. Very
Yeah.
quite
Hey,
very
look, listen,
strange.
listen. You know what I mean? Before you, you know what I mean, like flood her inbox, hit up Iran DeMarco at ymail.com. I'll manage all the pay piggies. I'll sort them out for her, and I'll bring it to her. Me and her will chat. We'll talk about. We'll arrange some shit. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Because I think a lot of you guys deep down inside, you want some 5-inch eels on your bones, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'm not here
look,
to shame anyone.
SMD just said it. He wants to get kicked in the balls by me. That's
Hey,
what I'm
look,
talking
listen, man.
about.
Look,
I,
listen.
it hit me recently too that there's something there other than like it's something there other than them wanting to rebut, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's clear. I was like, okay, either it's some type of like sick attraction or some loneliness or in need of attention or like a mixture of all of it.
I'm
Yeah.
serious, man. It
And
does. I mean,
I'm
but
being
go
serious
ahead.
when you like you made me see that her. I was like, oh, okay, I wasn't thinking about it
No,
that way,
I'm
but
dead
that's
serious. I'm dead serious.
yeah.
Because you know me, I can spot these energies very swiftly. You know what I mean? And the last dude who was on here, he was calling her a racist and so on and so
Mhm.
forth. And then when he left, he was like he asked if they were real, and I was like,
Yeah.
And then
we
sent
go
money.
from that to that, and then, yeah, and
Right.
sent some money.
And
So
super
it's like,
chatting. So it's a listen, it's a strange world, and social media has really exposed a lot of it. Like we used to hear about people like this, but the
Right.
abundance of them is I think what's shocking, because we used to think that weird people were weird enough to be far and few in between. That's what made them weird, right? That
Yes.
they were different from the normies, right? That they were different from the
Mhm.
normies. And then come to find out, social media explodes. And it's like, no, the majority, it's actually the normies who are rare. And a lot of these people are quite strange. People are strange.
Yes.
you know, Jen.
Um, mhm.
Every day, these motherfuckers. Every day we meet one of these motherfuckers when they come up here, and we see some of these motherfuckers in the news. I say to myself, Ted Bundy wasn't really that bad if you kind of think about it, or maybe Jeffrey Dahmer wasn't really that bad
I'm gonna need you to
because
clear that up.
Haran,
they
I'm gonna
make
need you
these
to clear
people
that
Haran.
up.
seem they make these people seem a lot more normal. Like maybe they just needed someone to talk to because
Ted
some of these
Bundy said
motherfuckers.
nothing. Wait a minute.
I don't know.
Dahmer.
I don't
Wait
know.
a minute.
No,
Wait,
no.
where did we
That
just go?
that
Nothing.
I didn't
like
Nobody.
listen,
Nobody. What is
listen.
happening?
Listen in. You
criticize.
read that manifesto from that dude, and that dude was considering incest. He was talking about some wild and crazy kinky shit in that
Jeffrey Dahmer
manifesto.
ate people. Jeffrey Dahmer ate people, Haran.
So what you're trying to
Yeah,
say,
but
Haran, is
I can see one of these motherfuckers probably doing that shit too. I don't know, man.
I
Oh
Got a
my
lot of wild
God.
people. You got a lot of wild people out here nowadays, man.
okay. So I kind of see what you're saying. What I think you're saying
hmm
is not all of these incels are like Jeffrey Dahmer, Ted Bundy,
No,
but Jeffrey Dahmer, Ted Bundy, like and those different people except Ted
put it
Bundy because he
this
was
way. Put it
probably
this
one.
way. Put it this
But
way.
They
When we
weren't,
were coming
but
up,
they weren't even incels though. Like
because
Dahmer
there was
and
put it this
no
way.
Bundy,
Well, I
they
think
weren't
Jeffrey
even
Dahmer
incels.
was. I think Jeffrey Dahmer
I don't
was,
think he
but
was. He had quite an interesting. Remember, incel means voluntarily not having sex. He was having
okay,
plenty sex. He was just eating his partners, but he
yeah,
was
he
having
got a point.
sex.
But
Okay.
here's the main thing that I'm saying here. The main thing I'm
Mhm.
saying is that when we were coming up, these extreme psychotics and people like this, they were just so far and you know what I mean, and few and in between. It was like most
So
of these
we thought.
motherfuckers,
so we
it's so
thought.
we thought, until social media, where it's just like, hey, how far and few in between are these motherfuckers? You know what
Correct.
I mean? That's the point where I'm making where it's just like, man, it's just kind of making this shit feel just normalized in so many ways, man.
Correct. Correct.
Like how
Correct.
many of us are actually normal is the real fucking question.
Right.
Correct.
It's kind of scary.
Say no to nukes says, I doubt well adjusted women are actually attracted to men who openly speak negatively about women on a constant basis. Say that again.
Is that
I
a Bible
doubt.
verse?
I doubt what it's a YouTube Bible verse.
Okay, because that looked like it belonged in the Bible.
I doubt well-adjusted women are actually attracted to men who openly speak negatively about women on a constant basis. I think the only women that are going to be attracted to that are women with low self-esteem.
Then they say that. Then they say you should be assholes to women though. Aren't these gurus saying like women deserve less and you should be assholes to them and they're attracted to assholes or some shit like that?
Yeah, men have been saying that. Men have been saying that for years. Abby, New York City says argumentative is the only way some men can communicate, which is sad because that's the only way they say women can communicate. But we've spoken about how, you know what I mean, what's happened in the atmosphere since the explosion of social media. In other news, very interesting, Rihanna named her son RZA.
Okay.
RZA, and they're saying it's after the Wu-Tang Clan member, but until I hear her say that, we all know RZA's in Wu-Tang, but we don't know if that's why Rihanna chose RZA. But
and it's spelled RZA.
That's what it says here.
Okay.
Well,
that's what it says here.
It's not a common name. It's not a common name, but
right.
You know, we'll put it on the shelf.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
And then people think that RZA Islam, his name is RZA. It's not, it's Reza. That's how it's pronounced. Reza. Everybody calls him RZA, but it's not RZA, it's Reza.
Black people, particularly Southern people and Caribbean people, are just horrible when it comes to people's names. Motherfuckers just be making up shit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I found that out too. My old roommate was Caribbean. He just couldn't figure out American names.
Motherfuckers be calling niggas Fred and shit like that. Motherfucking name ain't even nowhere near Fred.
Right.
Oh, come in, No Saint.
Oh, right.
And we got red wine, No Saint tonight.
God damn.
Uh-oh.
You all right, No Saint? You all right, No Saint? Well, we've been getting red wine, No Saint for a couple of nights, man. You got some things on your mind there, brother? You okay?
We all do, don't we? We all do. We all do. No Saint,
I'm not here to judge, man. I'm not here to judge, man.
Honey, No Saint.
Right. We all do. We all do. It's just my drink of choice is protein.
Exactly. Mine is water and coffee, but not for a date. Don't try.
And I don't have a man, so I can't swallow his protein. So I gotta do this.
See that works. See, that's an example. That's an example of doing something that works without a bonnet on your goddamn head. You see, you say things like that without a bonnet on your head. See, now you understand. You're getting it now. You see how it works? You see how it works? You say that with your shit flowing. You say that shit with your shit flowing.
Okay, all right. Let's test your theory, sir. Okay. Dr. Haran. Okay. Dr. Haran. Fellas, put a 1 in the chat. If a woman was like, I want to swallow your cum, but she had a bonnet on her head, put a 1 in the chat if you would be like, nah, ma, you got a bonnet on.
In comparison to.
Okay.
Be fair. In comparison to how you look right now. We're not gonna be fair. No, in comparison to how you look right now. No. In comparison.
We already know how that.
Because that's too easy.
You see, this is a setup.
That's right. It's a setup.
I'm gonna tell you why it's a setup. I'm gonna tell you why it's a fair setup. Because you all, not you, No Saint, because you didn't even know what a bonnet was until yesterday. But you all, okay, claim that y'all will not let y'all. Oh, I just wouldn't.
Wait, I said put a 1 in the chat if you wouldn't. If a woman says, I want to swallow your cum, but she has a bonnet on her head, put a 1 in the chat if you would say no because you got a bonnet on your head. Kari says he would say no if she had a bonnet.
Oh no! Listen, that bonnet.
Oh no! He was wrong. He was wrong.
Bonnet,
he meant.
I'm sorry.
How you know that? You answer for the man for? Maybe you heard what you said.
Watch your mics. Watch your mics, guys, because every time I try to edit, we sound like cackling hens. 1 at a time, please. I said put a 1 in the chat if a woman said, I want to swallow your cum, and you would say no. So the 1 is for the no, you got a bonnet on. I don't want you to swallow my comment to turn off. Your bonnet is turning me off. Put a 1 if you're like, no, the bonnet is turning me off. I will not put my penis in your mouth, ma'am. Put a 1. Passing the mic.
Well, he corrected that. He said he meant 2.
Okay, well, just the 1. We don't need the 2.
I think the bonnet, I mean, it could serve as a dual purpose. You could wipe your dick off afterward.
What did I walk into?
There you go, no saint. That's right. Way to flip it on them.
Lily, this is what happens when we discontinue Freaky Friday.
They're going to try to move it and just like spread it out throughout the week. That's what's going to happen.
Kyrie put up at 22.
He said we could disregard the bonnet for a night.
And just for entertainment's sake, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to support the show with a super chat, Cash App on the block with Jen. This is how we get down here. Support the program or super chat me with your comment, and we will pull your comment up and dissect it. Tristan, cover your little virgin ears.
Yes, please.
Early.
All right. Okay. Yeah, we getting into early talking about, the duty do.
All the
Anyway,
things.
let me get back to my regular old protein. Wah, wah, wah.
Not the protein of gold. The gold.
I need to slow down on these energy drinks,
Yes, you
man.
do.
The last guy was laid out on a Mexican woman. He's drinking too many of these things.
Right. If you want to make it to the next Cinco de Mayo, I'm gonna need you to slow down on that, sir.
Yeah, I'm gonna slow down on it.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys. So in other news, in worst attorney ever news, okay, we have another update from Jonathan Majors' camp. Jonathan Majors has been accused of his lily white girlfriend basically of beating her ass. Then she recanted and tried to, no, he didn't do me. Well, now she's back to the accusations and they've gotten worse. So I guess she changed her mind. So let me read to you. I mean, this man has the worst attorney ever. The attorney keeps saying, and this happened, months ago now or weeks? My time is off. Weeks,
Everyone's
months.
time is off. It's about weeks. Let's just say weeks to be safe.
Okay, weeks. Let's say weeks. And we keep hearing from the attorney, no, we're going to release the proof and it's going to exonerate. We're going to release the proof. And the only thing that's getting released is shit that makes him look worse and worse and worse. There's the court of public opinion. Everybody's like, he did it. You're on one side or the other. But this is really the worst attorney I've ever seen. He needs another attorney. So let me tell you what the latest is here. Jonathan Majors says, looks like new details are coming out in the domestic violence allegations against Jonathan Majors. According to an insider, new charging details about the alleged incident claim Majors pulled the victim's middle finger, causing bruising, swelling, and substantial pain. The woman, his ex-girlfriend, also alleges the actor grabbed her right arm, placed it behind her body, and used his hands to twist her forearm and right middle finger, causing substantial pain to the right forearm and right middle finger. Court documents also claim Majors hit the victim with his hand on her right ear and caused a cut, and that he pushed her into a car using both of his hands, causing her to fall backward onto the car. As we previously reported, Majors' lawyers, Priya Chaudhry, fire her ass, responded back to the new allegations outside of court on Tuesday, saying, we have provided the district attorney with irrefutable evidence that the woman is lying, including video proof showing nothing happened, especially not what she claimed. We did this with the explicit promise from the DA that they would not fix their case and change it as we proved the woman is lying. We keep hearing Becky lied. We're not seeing any evidence or any video. This man is just being crucified. Public opinion. I think she sucks ass. Okay, I don't know what he should have got Jose Baez or somebody. She's horrible. She's absolutely horrible. See this? She's horrible, which is weird because women are usually barracudas in court, but she's horrible. She's terrible. So I guess the Lily White girl figured, because remember the text that was released where she was like, no, are you going to be okay? I'll tell them it didn't happen. I ran into your fist. That was going on. So I guess she figured, oh, okay, we're not getting back together. Let's double down and get some money and some fame. That's the only thing I could think of why they're pursuing it now. So very, very interesting. Too bad for him. I can, people are like, his career's not over. I don't know. Unless Tyler Perry's gonna throw him a bone. I don't see it happening. Too much of a liability, too much trouble. Who was he going to work for? Haran, Marvel, DC? Who was it?
Marvel.
Okay, Marvel. If I was Marvel, I'm like, there are so many young, you know what I mean, broad shoulders, black men that are up, in the game now that could play a freaking comic book character. They can get a Brit. They can get someone from this country. If I was Marvel, I'm like, too much of a liability, not worth it. Plus, you just got here. We would have made you bigger with Marvel, but it's like, it's not worth it. Next, the show must go on. Not me, Tristan.
Oh, well, we ain't got the show just started. We're only 30 minutes in. Balance hasn't started yet. Was true yesterday. What was it? Yesterday? The Balance started early, or was the day before? Damn, my days get mixed up all the time too. I think it was Monday.
Oh my God! What? Jamie Foxx has gotten worse. They say he was out the woods. He was better. No,
oh, no, he did. He got worse. I meant to tell you that.
I think.
Yeah.
I hope everything is okay, man.
So I'm guessing that because I did hear through the grapevine that he did die. He was dead, and they brought him back. And what happens with a lot of those cases is probably like, oh, look, he's out the woods, and then your body is just like, wah, wah, wah. So we hope the best for Jamie. It would be terribly tragic. It's always even more tragic to me when someone who's built a career of making people laugh, making people feel good. When you lose somebody like that, it leaves a huge void, right? Because he dedicated his career to making other people feel good and laugh and smile. So it leaves a huge, huge void. And I still got hope. I don't count anybody out. I know people love running to social media. RIP. Nope. I have to hear the coroner's report.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I didn't know. I knew he was in the hospital, and I knew he was getting better. You're right, though. That's what happens. The body, you fight, and all of a sudden, like, that's what happened to my dad. Even though my dad was 79, right. He was like almost dead. Like, they revived him in the ambulance. He had sepsis. And all of a sudden, he came out of it. And I don't know, maybe a week later, he was on dialysis at that point because it killed his kidneys and everything. Yeah. It's funny. You think they're out of it. You think, oh my God. You're preparing yourself for someone to die, and then they come out of it, and you're having a good conversation. You're like, oh, maybe he's gonna pull out of this. But that happens a lot.
Wait, hold for a second. Where's Katie Holmes? Let's have some taste. Let's have some class. Okay, you can say some things about other things, ma'am, but try to have some class. Don't be a completely broken person. Okay.
What are they saying happened to him? A stroke? I mean, I'm not.
Yeah, they said it was a stroke. That's the word on the screen.
He's pretty young, right? 57 or 58. I mean, he's not that old.
Yeah, but since that, I digress.
Yeah, exactly.
What?
Yeah,
I digress.
Yeah, nothing.
We had these conversations before where this is happening a lot to healthy men in their 40s and 50s.
Stop.
I will never stop No Saint. That's the worst thing you can say to me. Wait a minute. No Saint forgot where he was. Sir.
Exactly.
Sir. This is the block.
Silence.
I was about to say that happened. Same exact thing happened to my brother, No Saint.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a same situation. He was about to die, to the point where the military flew us in because they were like, he's not gonna make it, right? So they flew us in immediately. It's like, you gotta go today, you have to leave now. So we left, got there. He was, pulled through. We was having a conversation. We was in his room, and then we were about to go back to our hotel room. My dad said, I'm not leaving. My dad just felt something, right? He's like, I'm not leaving. I'm staying here. And sure enough, in the middle of the night, my brother coded. And so it definitely can happen. And he ended up on dialysis for a year.
And another thing is people have is that, and it's a real thing. It's kind of crazy where people, even with people with like dementia or Alzheimer's, they have clarity before they die, just a moment of clarity, and they'll say things, and then they'll, within I don't know if there's a time, but it's weird because they'll have this moment of clarity, and they say that happens a lot with people that are dying.
It's strange.
Isn't that called like the Lazarus syndrome? No,
I haven't looked into it.
What's that, Tristan? Teach the
believe
class.
I believe that's like if somebody dies and they come back and have chopping it up, then die again. I think that's what it's called.
Wow.
But that's what it sounds like.
Like he's resurrected, like Lazarus.
Oh, that will explain that. Yeah.
So here's the thing. I pulled up a couple things, like all the reputable, and I use that word loosely, all the reputable media sources don't say anything about that. Matter of fact, they even say Jamie Foxx broke his silence with a post, and that's if you believe CNN, Yahoo News, TMZ. Now, USA Today, like, so other ones like Alive, this media channel called Alive, and Marca, they're saying like he's close to death, he's about to die. So I don't know. I'm not, again, can't confirm or deny. Let me see, Jamie Foxx, blah, blah, yada yada. Yeah, like none of the reputable news sources is saying that he slipped back under. So we don't know. We can't say. Again, I don't count anybody out. I don't know what's going on over there. We shall see.
Right.
We wish him the very, very, very best. Don said, Funk Empress, I take it you don't like black men. Where you been? Welcome to the class. Welcome to the class, Don.
I'm about to say, she makes it very clear. She don't hide it. It is what it is. We all have our stuff.
Jeez. New Diamond said, winter is here. God, the universe, whatever. Winter is here for black men. Woo. Cynthia G was right. All right, mama.
Wow.
All right.
Let's go. Let's go.
Well, God bless her and the white arms that hug her tonight and make her feel warm and safe and soft.
Hey, let her be great, Haran, okay?
I'll let her be great, man. I have nothing to do with that, man. Everybody deserves love wherever you find it.
True.
Some people find it amongst family. Some people find it in the arms of their slave masters. We all need fucking love.
Wait a minute. Why are we assuming? New Diamond says she got a white man? Why are we assuming?
Oh, she said that. No. Don't assume. She always says it. She says
she has a white boyfriend?
She enjoys him for money. Oh, yeah, for money. She said something to that effect.
Okay. All right.
She's there for the green.
Oh, I support that. Get your money.
Who said? Manny Lynn says CNN. I pulled up CNN. It says Jamie Foxx's friends and family aren't sharing his medical diagnosis. That's all I see. You got a link? Link us. Because I pulled up CNN. It says they're not sharing his diagnosis, which is probably not a good thing.
Well,
but we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. I heard something behind the scenes, but I don't know. We all hear stuff.
I just hope he's okay.
I just hope he's okay.
Yeah.
But I actually heard it a couple of days ago, but I didn't know, what to make of it. So, and then I had looked it up and I didn't see it in any of the stuff. So I was like, okay, that's why I didn't bring it up.
Okay,
what's crazy? Out of all people in the world, right? This whole manosphere space, God is coming for Jamie Foxx. Out of all people that need to die, I'm sorry.
Are
you calling God a murderer?
Well, the Bible calls God a murderer.
God is the OG murderer. I mean, that motherfucker is the first one to be like, hold my beer. Let me show y'all how to do this shit. He is the first
one. Mastermind. Technically, he was a mastermind. For him.
I told Jen that ARC shit was the first snap. That was the Bible's version of the fucking MCU snap. Yes, indeed, man.
We do need to reset. I'll be 100% honest. Like everybody just gotta go. Like
Oh,
we need to reset.
it's they about to reset again. Don't worry about it. Don't just sit around. It's about to reset.
That's-
Mother Earth getting sick of us. Everything.
Exactly. The guy was like this. I let the woman in charge, and she created COVID. Okay, now I gotta do it. He like he had to get off the toilet seat.
I agree, Jay Cavassier. He says a lot of speculation. People can only assume at this point. Yeah, and then people
Yeah.
want headlines too. So
Yeah,
Especially
exactly.
the little websites that you don't even know where they're from.
Mhm.
That's definitely clear.
Right.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, people got viruses on their computer because they want to know what happened with Jamie Foxx.
right.
Let it happen.
Yeah. All right. So let's get into this.
I know it'd be those
Okay.
sites that be like, we heard that Tom Cruise was born a frog. Click here to find out more information.
There's one site that I see that pops up in my Google. You know, you click on Google and there's about 7 articles there. Whatever.
Yeah, that.
And
yeah.
one of them's got like archaeology something. I don't know what I was looking at, but it's archaeology. And it always had, and I never click on it because I'm like, I look at it, I'm like, oh, the some river over in Egypt dry or some bed, you know, it's the lowest ever, and it's this fully formed head coming out of the ground. I'm like, and then the next day it was somewhere else, and it was like a nice build. I'm just like, at first I'm like, oh, I might, and I'm like, wait up, that ain't real. That's not real. Come on.
Yeah, they have a lot of those.
Mhm. So shout out to Say No to Nukes. First of all, anybody who's a reform MGTOW, congratulations, sir. Congratulations. No need to go your own way where you could just work on yourself and there's somebody for everybody. That is true. Look, no
That
saints
is very
married.
true. Damn.
The
Okay.
shade, it's real.
So Say No to Nuke says, I'm a reform MGTOW. I wasted a lot of gym gains, spending 18 months during COVID, drinking a lot to cope. The manosphere ideology doesn't really exist in real life. It only
It can't.
exists in social media.
Wow, we said that earlier.
We say
You
that all the
can't.
time.
Wow.
It doesn't, but it does influence some people that are maybe not the most mentally stable.
Right.
Absolutely.
It influences it, in my opinion, it influences them to follow the guys on YouTube and just talk in their chat. That's what I think it influences them
Well,
to do.
I
we-
hope that's where it stops.
We saw the guy the other day that had a lot of stuff to say about women.
Get it.
Kind of sounded like MGTOW and all those guys. So
Yeah, I mean, I think losers are gonna lose, winners are gonna win.
winning.
Like
Right?
the
And, like losers do loser shit.
the
Winners
FBI
do winning shit.
the FBI said, hey, you know, words on the internet say certain things are related to certain extremists, and all of a sudden people are getting
Yeah.
shot randomly.
I'm hating y'all right now because we've all been sitting up here. You see the fucking banner. That's not the right banner for today. Nobody said shit.
I didn't.
Nobody
even
said shit. Y'all the worst class ever today. Nobody said shit. That's not the
That's
topic for tonight.
tonight.
That's not the topic for today. And all y'all be like "Ugh," drooling on yourselves.
Right, looking crazy.
Oh my goodness.
Well, you get
Blame
ladies
it on-
look so
blame
good.
it
I
on
just didn't
me.
look down.
Blame it
Change the
on me,
topic.
y'all. Just blame it on me, y'all. She'll yell at me later, and I'll
You
be
can't-
like, all right, Jay.
The people in the chat, and those are those three. Those three are in trouble. I am safe.
There you go.
42 minutes. 42 minutes we sat up here with the wrong damn banner. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, okay? Do men who
Horrible
cater,
people.
right, do men who cater to women do better? No, I love you. Actually, it was my fault. Do men who cater to women do better? Do men who cater to women do better? No, Rod Veal didn't. Sir, we're going to move on to today's topic. Thank you, though. That's what happens when you're absent.
Yes,
Okay.
better because I haven't paid for lunch in 10 years, okay? You cater to women, you get fed, all right? That's what happens.
You make sure you definitely make sure you're not hungry.
Right. Manny Lynn is standing on his square. He said it's not CNN. It's his mistake is not CNN. It's Radar Online.
Okay.
I
You gonna
don't
ride
know,
over there
darling.
down to the radar?
I don't know, darling.
That sounds like a club.
Right. I think it was.
You
It
remember?
looks like a tabloid, the Radar Online.
Right.
Yeah, they are. They're they're Wendy used to read from them a lot. That's when I discovered them because she used to read from Radar on her show.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember when they first came out, she was like, okay, I don't even know if I should be reading from them because I don't know who these people are. But then
Right.
over the years, they picked up. They've been around for a while now.
Okay. All right.
Mhm.
So we're moving on. We're
I get
wishing
my news
Jamie
from
the
the-
best.
I get my news from the Onion. That's
The Onion.
anybody remember the Onion? Come on.
Yeah, we do. We remember it. I don't know
Wait,
who
what's
reads it, apparently.
That shit is like a step above the Post.
The Onion had the best headlines.
New York.
It's satire.
Okay, guys. So let's start the everyone settle down. Take out your notebooks and your pencils. Thank you. Okay. So this topic came to me after having a conversation with someone that I like very much on social media. Do men who cater to women do better? Right? Do men who cater to women do better? As you know, with the explosion of social media, men who cater to women are stamped simps by these guys that run around on social media. Out in the real world, men who cater to women actually do very, very well. I think where the message got misconstrued is men who aren't about shit trying to cater to women, they get kicked in the ass, and then they blame that they cater to women.
Yeah.
When the blame is actually you weren't shit trying to cater to a woman, she kicked you in the ass, now you're blaming the woman because you weren't on your A game. For instance, Russell and Ciara, the picture that Tristan put up, right? He caters to that woman publicly, privately. He's all about his woman. They're doing very, very well. They're a power couple. They both have careers. They're having babies. Beautiful couple, beautiful couple. Regardless of what you feel about Ciara, maybe that's just me. Regardless of what you feel about Russell, right? We're talking about YouTube land and in the real world. Those two are doing very, very well and got some beautiful babies between them. They're doing very, very well. Okay.
Right.
So, you know, that's an example of a man who catered to a woman. He's doing really, really well. Right. You know, and then we have other examples, right? You guys could bring up some examples if you like, but I'm just picking that because Tristan threw it up. Now, I have some examples, right? And no kind of hate is sustainable. No kind of hate is sustainable, right? After a while, even people that are miserable get tired of being miserable. After a while, people that are miserable are like, am I being bamboozled? The shit's starting to feel stupid. And we're seeing that happening on social media where more and more people are saying we're tired of this shit, talk about something else. If you read the comments on the Black blog specifically, you're seeing a change. There's a shift happening where people in the comments used to applaud the fuckery are now like, don't talk about something else. Why are you always posting these people? They're so negative. They're so ratchet. Like, we're tired of these shows, these reality shows where people are fighting each other, rolling around on the ground. Now, of course, they got their demographic of people who like the drama because they ain't got shit going on. But a lot of people are getting sick and tired of it. And that's because hate is not sustainable forever. And I said before, this is why a lot of these YouTube characters, they plateau after a while because how much hate can you sell? You know, people get sick of being angry every single day. It's a sickness.
It is.
Sickness, right?
It's an addiction.
Some folks
it is.
some folks just can't wait you that shit up in
Yeah.
their man.
Yeah.
They come up into a peaceful place that's just chill, and they just come in there they just got to create that negative vibe. They have to create that negative energy. It becomes their identity, and it's just so sad because everybody can see the brokenness in you. It leaps off of your shoulders, and it just poisons everything around you. It's sad.
Right.
Right. And it takes us back to when we spoke before about self-awareness, where it's like if an entire panel is looking at you like you're batshit, you're probably batshit. And we've seen that with men and women on this panel who we had to get rid of because it was just too vitriolic every single time they visited. It was just too much. And they were bringing down, right, the vibe of and the spirit of the show. And that's not to say that we're not going to get into it. But if every time I see your face, You know what I mean? It's ugly, 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 ugly. It's like, yeah, something is wrong. So I'm noticing, I don't know if you guys have seen, or maybe it's just the people I follow, but I'm noticing that a lot of men are riding the wave of taking advantage of the hate that men are spewing. And I have some videos show and tell. Haran, you touched on this, Haran. You said it's, Tristan, you touched on it too. You said it's easy to get women, right? Because women are going to lean towards men that are just decent human beings. Just decent human beings at this point, right? Because there's so much vitriol online. So it's easy. As like Tristan always says, more for me. Haran says, more for me, right? The more of an asshole you are, the easier it is for me to get in there and do what we do. So I found a couple gentlemen, and there's a lot of them, the wave is happening, right? When you look at Derek Jackson, who I feel was like the original, people are like, he panders, he's a simp, he's a sucker. Let me tell you something. Even when Derek Jackson was found out to be a cheater, those women held on to his nuts and said, this is our Derek Jackson. He didn't lose a beat. He looks better now, okay? He's hitting that gym hardcore. He has women wanting to take his wife's place because he got divorced. It did not, no one budged. And it's because Derek Jackson caters to women. Haran visited ChatGPT, and what did ChatGPT say, Haran? Let the people know.
What's the tea? What they talking about?
What's the tea?
Well, there was a number of things. Okay, so I'm going to read. Okay, so I'm going to read. All right, there are several ways a male entertainer can increase his female audience. We'll talk with male entertainers first. The first thing, diversify his content. A male entertainer can increase his female audience by diversifying his content to appeal to a wider range of interests. For example, if he primarily performs edgy or masculine material, he could be incorporating more romantic or emotional themes into his work to appeal to female viewers, i.e. Drake, i.e. LL, and a person who is one of the main people who did this for a number of years and is not often spoken about, Tupac Shakur.
Good one.
Collaborate with female artists. Collaborating with female artists can help a male entertainer reach a broader audience. This includes working with female musicians, dancers, and actors to create a more diverse and inclusive performance. Now I'm going to switch gears. I'm going to talk about politicians and the importance of having female voters on your side. Number one, address women's issues such as reproductive rights, pay, equity, and access to healthcare are important to many female voters. By advocating for policies that prioritize these issues, a male politician can show that he understands and cares about the concerns of women. Be inclusive. A male politician can increase his support among female voters by being inclusive and promoting diversity and equality. This includes appointing women to leadership positions, as you see, we're at VP, which most likely got Biden the vote. Supporting women's participation in politics and speaking out against discrimination and harassment. A number one of these things I'm going to read. Okay, so and another one. I'm gonna give you the gist right after this one. Work to create policies that support working mothers. Many women struggle with the challenge of balancing work and family responsibilities. Well, overall, I'm going to tell you this, folks. One of the main reasons why so many politicians do this, male politicians, is that women tend to vote more than men.
Yep.
And the men in the household who, if a lot of times, if his woman likes a particular candidate, there's a lot of men who won't fight with their women. So if they show up and they actually do vote, they're most likely going to go with their chick. If you think for a second that you're going to bring a policy to the table that's going to cause a rift in his household, he's going to risk 8 years or 18 years of pain for your 4 years of fucking, employment. He's not going to do that. The point here is this. This is one of the main reasons why I keep telling black men it is not in our best interest to be at odds with our women. It doesn't make political sense. It doesn't make practical sense. It doesn't make economic sense. Let the white man fight with his white woman. This shit has been happening since America was a concept. But at the end of the day, they still choose each other. Don't believe the hype. They still choose each other. They still choose their own privilege and so on and so forth. They will not choose you. And just continue to understand that if we continue to be at odds with ourselves, both sides of the fence, it's just not in our best interest. I'll pass the mic on that for now.
I mean, that's the T. Chat GPT didn't lie about that. I mean, seriously, women are the biggest consumers when it comes to opening our wallets, right? So that's why the church even panders to women. Politicians.
So I just want to say one thing, Lily. Morris Chestnut is a classic example of this example right here. This motherfucker has been Ricky for 30 years of his fucking life.
Exactly.
Women have consistently showed up for this man without.
Okay, we could let Lily finish. God damn it!
Sorry.
I'm like, hold on. Let Lily finish, and then you can get to that. Morris Chestnut wasn't going nowhere.
Sorry.
But I was thinking like the politicians, the movie industry, because when we look at the movie industry, right, and or just film Hollywood in general, right, everything is catered to the women, and like marriage, which is opening up. So I mean, if you've ever worked in that field, when it comes to wedding, you know how many people eat off of a wedding? And I'm not talking about eat, I'm talking about eating good, like off of a wedding. You got the makeup, the hair, the venue, the ring, the dress, it's just so the event planner. So many people eat off of that, right? And then they'll cater to, even through the kids, they'll cater to women through their children, right? Like, tell your mama to buy you this cereal, like you watch children's cartoons and you see the commercials, you're like, oh, they trying it. Because soon as like they put those commercials on, the kids turning around like, I want that, So it's like, unless you have something that is unique and that can only, like, that men just, I don't know what that is. Maybe, I don't know, but something sports, I guess. Sports, I guess, sells a lot. It's little few things like that, but you put up against all of the things that sell for women. As a business person, I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm. It's smart. It's smart. Jay Cavassier says, cater/pander to women with the little thinking emoji. Absolutely. And let me tell you, I salute the guys that are going the route of catering and pandering to women, right? Because I think it's safe to say we can call this an industry now.
Yes.
Podcasting, YouTube, it's an industry now. It's no longer, it's an industry, people making some big bank here. It's an industry. So, the market here is saturated with a lot of ogres who do a lot of derogatory, negative, vitriolic material versus women, against women, right? So now the market's saturated, right? So what some very smart guys are doing is, I'm going to go the opposite way. They probably looked at statistics and analytics and realized women buy more, listen longer. If I look like a little something, they'll be interested in coming to my channel. And now we're seeing popping up a lot of guys that are catering and pandering to women, and they're making money, right? They're following the Derek Jackson business model. And it's funny because Derek Jackson was in his own lane for a long time, very, very smart and out the way. And you notice you've never seen Derek Jackson in a YouTube beef. Didn't need to, because he has nothing but women, okay, on his side. Whether you could call it pander or cater, he's pandering and catering straight to the bank. So if you were a Derek Jackson, right, would you give a damn that some miserable, lonely fucks on YouTube were saying that you pander and cater?
And those women will fight for him.
Right, women that'll fight for him. And he's at the point now, Derek Jackson is already at the point now where he could do no wrong, right? Even when he's quote unquote cheated on his wife, right? Although I think she knew that he was fucking around for a while. But when that story broke, all the guys were using that against him and against women. See, he bamboozled you, and all the women like, who he bamboozled who? That man makes me feel good.
Right.
That man makes me feel good. That man points out that you guys are the wrong ones, right? And they stuck by him. And the dudes eventually had to stop posting the memes because they could not take Derek Jackson down. He's doing better now than he was before because he apologized, right?
Yep.
So now we're seeing a lot of these cats popping up everywhere. And it makes sense because women are where the bag is. Women are where the bag is. So now I see that chefs and men who massage are upping their game. And I have some videos. Now you would look at these videos and be like, oh, they simping, they pandering, they catering. But they are booked and busy.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Thank you so
James.
much for the super chat, James. James says Kev didn't pander and women followed and supported him. Women now crave the truth. This is our Kanye guy.
You're
No.
off. You're off
Yeah,
on that
no.
one, pal. Let me explain this real quick. Let me explain this. Wait 1 second. Wait 1 second. It's just so funny because he spent a great deal of time speaking to men, catering and pandering to men. You know what I mean? Telling you some of the things that you needed to hear in terms of getting your life together and so on and so forth. He wasn't making no money, though. He wasn't making no money. He was almost out of here. And then one day, he told a woman that she was average at best. He told her all the things that he usually says to the man. He said it to that woman. And then it created a stir. It went viral. And it went viral mostly because men such as yourself felt that you needed an attack dog, right? You needed an attack dog to take that shit off your neck. So you let that run. He saw an opportunity, the hustler that he is, and he ran with it. So in a sense, he was pandering. He was still pandering to a degree, but it's just not in the manner that you think it is. Because if he was really as effective as you think he really truly is, you would have accepted him and he would have blown up initially. And he would have really been what you guys assume that he is now. Anyway, go ahead.
So I do want to say that to this comment, because this comment's interesting. Kev didn't pander and women followed and supported him. Women now crave the truth. Kevin, before his untimely death, was pivoting.
Yes.
Kevin was grifting. He wanted to be someone, if you notice, he started acting and he started interviewing celebrities. Kevin wanted out of the misery he created. Kevin wanted out of the misery he created. About to leave y'all scrambling for another woman hater. Because Kevin knew I could be better than this. I look good, I smell good, I dress good. Why am I down here in the mud? Hence, he started hanging out with celebrities, interviewing celebrities, and he started acting. Therefore, he no longer needed to pander to men because originally he was pandering to men.
But he knew that wasn't sustainable either.
Correct. Smart man. Unfortunately for him.
He's a smart man.
Absolutely. As far as the people talking about Kevin Samuels was pro-Black families, I call cap on that. We use that word pro so loosely. This is who he died on, honey.
Yeah.
That's who he died on.
Hortensia.
Okay. He died on Hortensia. That is who he died on. That lovely Latina thing there. So I take it with a grain of salt when people say somebody was pro-Black and then they're laying on a Becky or laying on a Latina. He should have died on a Black woman. I would think if you're pro something. If I am pro something, right? It's like I'm pro veganism and then I'm eating a fucking cheeseburger, you're going to call cap on me. All the beautiful women, Black women all over the world, in Atlanta, where he keeled over. But it was Cinco de Mayo, and he wanted him a little Mexi sexy.
That.
Okay, he wanted a little Mexi sexy. And that's what he got. You would think that being pro-Black is very easy to find a beautiful Black woman in Atlanta.
Oh, let me tell you. Yeah, now, I say a lot of things about Atlanta, but the one thing I will give them is beautiful Black people, period. The men, the women, I mean, just they're beautiful down there. Like beautiful. You just stand there and just be looking around like, there's a lot of pretty motherfuckers. Like they are gorgeous. So
It was in his will, though. I mean, he had a
pro
will.
family. He
He had
was
a
pro
will.
family too.
So, whatchamacallit, this right here is silly too. Like, oh nah, he made his personal life choices, but he definitely promoted Black families. The reason why he promoted Black families is because y'all are easily bamboozled, right? All a Black man, all he has to do is wear a suit and say, yeah, I'm about Black family. But I always say follow them home. Well, somebody told me that, and it's a great saying, because it's like, I can tell you whatever I want. Kevin told you whatever he wanted because he knows y'all are easily bamboozled. Probably the most easily bamboozled demographic on the planet. You could quote me on that. You could quote me on that and turn inside out and implode. The Black community, the Black disenfranchised community is the most easily bamboozled demographic on planet Earth, and Black leaders have been leading you to shit since the beginning of time. Since the beginning of time. That is why you revere Tariq Nasheed. That is why you revere Umar, until they're fucking, the joke that they're telling y'all just implodes, right? Like it's imploding on Tariq Nasheed now. Like it implodes and you're like, oh wow, maybe he was a fuck up. But y'all are the easiest bamboozle. So when you say, well, he made his personal choices, his personal choice was not pro-Black. That was his personal choice. Now, what he told you in front of the cameras was a whole other thing. But follow a man home and you'll find out who he really is. What were you saying, Lily?
I was just about to say, people do what they believe, not say what they believe. So, just that simple.
Say that.
Just that simple.
The
People
chat
can
is
say a
spicy
lot
today.
of things.
Right.
Well, when you
Really
talk
ain't
about
have to do that
this,
tea like that, though. I'm just saying that tea was kind of hot. What you just threw. I'm just saying.
Yeah. So, you know, shout out to Kevin Samuels, rest in peace. But Kevin Samuels became, you know what I mean, a deity for these guys. So what they do is the same thing that religious people do with a deity. They start giving them a personality.
Yeah.
You ever notice that? People be like, well, God said, well, God don't like ugly. You don't know what the fuck God wants or said or whatever. You just don't know. And people along the years, they just start giving God this personality that suits their thinking. Kevin Samuels was not pro-Black. That is what he told y'all.
Right.
But that is why he died on a Mexican woman, to reveal he is not pro-Black at all.
Well, thank
In Atlanta, the Mecca. The Mecca of beautiful women.
You gotta look hard not to fall and sleep on a Black woman in Atlanta. Like you got to be like, move, man, move. Like, get to somebody non-Black in Atlanta. Seriously.
But
isn't that like finding the Asian in Atlanta? Like you look for that motherfucker. Like
no, there's a neighborhood. There's a neighborhood. A neighborhood. You know where they at. They're in that neighborhood, right off Houston Highway, going over there, right? But as far as who was in his will, thank you for the super chat, James. As far as who was in his will, I don't know. I know they were scrambling to bury him, and I would hope his family's in his will. Like, I mean, you're saying that to say what? Like, if he did have a will, I'm sure his family's going to be in the will. Well, though he didn't get along with his daughter, I'm sure he left her something, I would hope.
Well, his cousin got his golf clubs. What the fuck?
His cologne got his cologne.
His cologne, like hey, that man's about family, goddammit.
I'm hoping he left his daughter some of that super chat money.
Man, that shit went into the Sphinx of Cynthia or Cynthia, whatever the fuck.
Doesn't YouTube
keep that money?
That is the logic. That is the logic. Yep. That's the logic. Yeah, you half and half like milk, but you are not pro anything. You half and half. Mm-hmm. Okay, you half and half like milk. Even Frederick Douglass, you half and half. You're not pro.
Right. And Frederick Douglass was a human being as well.
Right.
Infallible. Like, I don't know why humans like to deify people to do great things. They can do great things and do some other things too. I mean, it both. You know what I'm saying? Like it's okay. It's okay.
Lily,
two things can be true. Yes.
Yeah, it's okay.
Lily, I'm more pro-black than black leaders in the community who are throwing up their power fists.
Get ass. Get ass.
I'm more pro-black, okay, than the black leader. Yes, there go be another day, right? I'm more pro-black than most.
Yes,
Let me
you
tell you,
are.
and me and
I
Beth was talking
digress.
about this earlier. Our worst treatment in the black community has come from people who claim to be pro-black. The worst, hands down. The worst.
Well, that's the same with me and the Ricans. You know, some people will say that's proximity, but it's the same with me and Ricans for sure.
The proximity thing kind of gets on my nerves.
Speak on it. Speak on it.
It really does, especially for someone who travels a lot. So I'm like, my proximity is the world. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm just saying, like,
Mhm.
so I've been around so many different communities. I've lived in different communities. I've gone to school. And then I've also lived in all black communities and mixture of communities and all of that stuff.
Mhm.
And so my proximity is a lot of different things. So I have a lot of test data to go off of. And hands down, it's been the people who claim to be so pro-black. And it's like, well, hey, I'm black. So, I'm black first, before anything else. I'm like, isn't that what we're here for? We're here because we're black.
And we have to respect that experience. Point blank. We have to respect that experience. To be fair, I'm sure he had a diverse roster of women. I'm sure he did too. That's what popular men do. They have a diverse roster of women. The only issue with that is that Kevin didn't bash Kevin didn't bash Latin and white women. You get where I'm going? Is this hard to understand?
It's hard for them to understand. So when you talk about someone's deity, selective, like the cognitive dissonance is so real, and they will discard anything that doesn't fit this neural narrative that they have created about their deity.
Okay, so then they should understand why women love Derek Jackson, even though he cheated on his wife. Because when you make someone a deity, they can do no wrong.
Right.
So, all right, I get it.
Here's my issue with some of these people. Why do they have? I guarantee you, they will call Kevin Samuels a fraud if he was as famous as Umar Johnson. But he happened to blow up to such fame and height. They made him this leader. Why do they make the richest degenerates the leaders? Jay-Z, for some reason, they want to run for president.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, who you talking to? Like most of the people, most of the cats I know hate Jay now. I don't know. It's part of the Illuminati. They hate this dude.
I was trying to leave this stream not getting jumped by y'all, but it's a demographic thing.
Okay, maybe it is. Wait a minute, did you just call us old?
See, I was trying to avoid it. See,
no, you
select young man.
Right in it. Stepped in it.
Right.
I heal up fast. It's okay. Just make sure right knee, not the left one. All right. I need that.
This motherfucker really came in here and called us old.
Okay, so thank you for the super chat, James Oko. James Oko says, here we go again. Blanket negative statements about black people as a whole only, exclamation point. Thank you for the super chat, darling.
I like this comment by Abby NYC that said, I guess referring to the day that Kevin croaked, said that something about, it got rid of the gay rumors that day. And I don't know how, because gay men sleep with women too sometimes.
He died. What does that have to do with
that? But no, people were saying that. I guess people thought like, it was a woman. So case closed.
Oh, you poor babies.
I know. I'm like, ooh.
You poor babies.
Oh wow, is that all it took for you? And what do we say? How gullible people are? People are so gullible.
No. Newsflash. Sorry, guys. Newsflash. But men are very much bisexual as well, and they sleep with men and women. We know some personally.
Because humans are sexual.
Yes. He was attempting to, and I'm going to get to the videos because this is not going to be a Kevin Samuels show. If you want to see how we feel about Kevin Samuels, you got to see the Kevin Samuels Cinco de Mayo show. He was attempting to help repair and build black families. I keep telling y'all, I wish he would have lived for the sole reason that he was about to leave y'all black miserable asses the fuck alone. He was about to leave from that entire cipher. Kevin Samuels started acting. Kevin Samuels started modeling. Kevin Samuels was interviewing celebrities. He was sick of y'all. He was pivoting to bigger and better. And y'all would have been stuck here listening to all the crabs in a barrel on YouTube. Kevin Samuels was leaving all this shit behind because it is not sustainable. It is not sustainable. That is why he was pivoting. Look at his last works. He was on motherfucking TV acting. Okay? Can't get rich talking to a bunch of miserable people, but years and years and years, he was taking his brand and expanding. What are you talking about? That's why I wish he would have. That's why I wish he would have lived, so all these people could see. Y'all would have been stuck with the doppelgangers.
Right. Because it was clear what he was doing. And I didn't have a
Absolutely.
problem with it at all.
See,
I'm
this
like,
is
That's what you do.
this is what
if-
makes me mad. I'm sorry.
if these- my thing is like, if these people want to like, if I was Kevin and I'm like, oh, they want to deify me? Oh, okay. Let me give them more what they want. let me double up. Let me do this, do a little bit more. Let me really give it to them. And then once I get to where I want to be, I'm like, okay, now let me do what I really want to do. I mean, it's that clear. We've seen it so many times. We see it with the white girls. They do it. They use you all, and then they go back to being white, right? We've seen it so many times, and people keep falling for it over and over. And so I'm not mad at the people who do it to you. I'm like, if you fall for it, okay.
So salute to Donnie Fly 212. He says, I disagree with you, but great content. Salute to you, sir.
This is what makes me mad about Jen and Lily, right? Because both of y'all could be grifting right now, and all three of us could be chilling on some island, rich as hell. But no, y'all want to have integrity and fucking.
That damn integrity.
Oh, that fucking integrity.
Oh, stay tuned, Tristan.
My mother didn't raise me as good as you think she did.
Stay tuned, Tristan. There's something coming down the pipe. Stay tuned.
Eventually,
All right.
you just gotta rob people if they want to be robbed.
They want to be robbed. Exactly.
They're asking for it. Just take it. They're asking.
Yeah.
We have to do a preferences topic. I see New Diamond in the chat going haywire.
I would love for New Diamond to be on that panel.
I don't know why, New Diamond. I don't know why you don't cam up, Mama. You should cam up.
Yeah,
She said she's looking for a skin bleaching sponsor. She doesn't want to be black.
Oh,
Well, that's her choice. That's her body.
absolutely.
Absolutely a choice, man.
Thank you for the super chat, James Oko. James Oko says, "Come get you some truth. Drop the link." Okay, I'll drop the link, but I'll play these videos first, and then you are more than welcome to come up. But again, sir, this is not a Kevin Samuels show tonight. Okay, you could come up and rebut. I invite you. Nothing wrong with that. You spent some Skrilla. You spent some coins, so you can definitely come up. But let me get these videos.
It's about to go down.
Ooh, Tristan, I love my people. Okay. Yeah, we'll bring you up, Jamie.
Oh man, it's my 2 glass night.
Yeah, it is. No saying. Pour up.
Okay, let's make a bet before we start, right? A $5 bet, right? He's gonna.
What are you talking about, Rod? He said respectfully, isn't this the same thing you doing? What are you talking about? Be specific. What am I? Who am I pandering to?
Yeah, I really want to know.
Who am I pandering to?
You gotta go back to English 101.
Because I know I really want to know who
I
I'm
know
pandering
who you
to.
pander to.
Who am I pandering to, Lily?
The motherfuckers who like to get cussed out for
Okay,
pleasure.
then yes, I'm guilty as charged.
You're guilty.
All right. So
the fellows with the submissive masochistic cake.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
The subbies,
Okay.
the subbies in the chat. Sure.
I'll wear the letter.
this is how this is gonna go, right?
I got $100. I got $100 that at some point in time, one of these motherfuckers are gonna ask Jen to peg them. I got $100 that says that
Well,
shit.
they've asked me to do other stuff, not a peg yet. Oh no, they did. One DM. Yeah.
Okay,
One
that's
DM,
decent.
one.
I'm
See,
surprised it's only
Told
one
you
do I
DM.
not
not know
to
these
tell
guys?
you, Jen.
I'm
Do I not
surprised.
know these kind of guys?
Right.
Yes.
That was
I'm
the issue.
know it when I see it.
I am surprised.
Why? Out of all they want to do, they want to get pegged, right?
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna call Harana.
Tristan,
So right now, this is gonna happen. Somebody's gonna call Harana simp, or any of the black. When they find out I'm black, they'll say I'm a simp too. They'll be quiet when Jen goes off. They'll listen to No Saint, and they'll give Lily the respect. That's what's going to happen, right?
bro,
They're
That
to
sounds
bend.
like a regular night on the
I
block.
was saying,
They're
that
going.
like
They're going to
like
bend the knee
everybody.
for the white man and the Latina.
oh
Watch.
yeah, that's exactly what they do.
Ouch. Ouch, Tristan. You telling too much truth on tonight.
It's the
Like I said, I'm the only black person I see, black man I see come up here and actually question George and No Saint. The rest of the brothers, I don't see y'all do that. I
yeah,
don't see y'all do it in the chat. I don't see you come up here and do it. You question me though.
right, right. Oh,
So
what do you? Somebody keeps asking the question about something about R&B music and simps and how people are calling R&B music simp music. I guess you're talking about old school R&B because this new school R&B is all about.
Oh, this shit is. This new R&B is this shit is rape music.
Yeah, rape music. So
This shit sound like some assault shit.
Yeah, wow.
I wouldn't call it rape music, but it's vulgar. It's not romantic.
They can't sing.
They all have the same little light voices, little high pitched voices, and light weird voices.
But you know what? Chris Brown still has some really sweet R&B stuff.
True.
You know
But
what I mean? Like No Guidance, Go Crazy.
Right.
Like,
yeah,
yeah.
He's not gonna go down for anything like him, but he's gonna get R. Kelly. The moment he can't make the money,
it's happening
everything.
now.
Oh, and he's getting arrested.
Yeah,
It-
it's
it-
happening now. I was thinking about that this morning. I was like, you know what? Because his last couple of projects started to fail, and now you see all the protection, the wall of protection is starting to come down now.
What do you got? Why do you think we don't have romantic music anymore? I've never asked. I don't think I've asked the panel that. Why do you think we don't have romantic music anymore?
Because I mean, music has always been a sign of the times. We're not in those times right now. Women hate men, men hate women. We live in a microwave society more than ever. Women want satisfaction quickly. You know what I mean? They're getting their own satisfaction. And men are hating women because they can't get women like they used to. So to me, it's just a sign of the times.
That's a good one.
Just a sign of the
It's
times.
just in America. Them UK artists, they be
Yeah,
singing it out romantically.
You're right. They
Mhm.
still give you good R&B over there. That's where I've been able to find my R&B recently. I'm like, oh, y'all still sing and write and produce and okay, well, I'm out to go across the pond.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it's like we could blame like it's all, but I'm like supply and demand. If people didn't want this nasty ass vulgar, you know what I mean, pussy dick, condoms on the dress, but if they didn't want that, they wouldn't buy it. But it's selling.
Yeah.
It's selling. All right, so guys, I am going to play this video of men who are taking full advantage of all the assholes online and filling that void and filling it well. Okay. What you'll see in these videos, and we will dissect after, these men are catering to all kinds of women from all walks of life. So there is no wall. Okay. For these women, there is no, you got to be 34, 24, 34 measurements. You got to be a cute, sexy thing. These men are making bank catering to all kinds of women. The women are loving it, eating it up, and hiring these men more and more and more while you ogres sit on YouTube listening to the other ogres who are taking your money. Okay, so let's see what the smart men are doing. Yeah, as you call them, simp all the way to the bank. I rather enjoyed putting this together. I hope you enjoyed as well. I'm going to play it more than once. Here we go. Let's get it. And let me know if you have any questions after.
Find another love as good action left me in LA. With her it's magic till she runs away.
Going at the streets about little Dominique, I've been obese. Really got my name from shooting dice and selling niggas weed. 5x7.
Because you're mine. Oh, my body feels better than.
Let me rough like alligator skin. Them say I have a look man, me never get a feel. Yes, I'm a bad, but you don't even know what behavior mean. You are the.
Oh, wait. Y'all wanted to see it again? Sure.
Find another love as good as this. So you better represent it. Times I knew I'd make it through. And the
action left me in LA. With her it's magic till she runs away.
Going at the streets about little Dominique, I've been obese. Really got my name from shooting dice and selling niggas weed. 5x7.
Because you're mine. Oh, my body feels better than.
Let me rough like alligator skin. Them say I have a look man, me never get a feel. Yes, I'm a bad, but you don't even know what behavior mean. You are the.
Okay, we're back. All right. Let me just say something really quick. Let me say something.
In my ear.
Okay, you know you got to be careful with your ears on the block, okay? Especially when I'm up here. So let me say something really quick. First thing I noticed, and then I will pass the mic. This is the only thing I got to say. Some of those women are what people would consider past the wall, hit the wall, old, guts, saggy titties, not attractive. These guys are banking on the women that you've heard Kevin Samuels and a plethora of other ogres online talk about. Okay. Now, I don't know about you. Women are not making their own money. They're way more independent than they used to be. In 22 cities, they are out earning men. So, in my opinion, it's much more attractive, much more of a pleasurable time. No fuss, no muss. To get me, 5 of my girlfriends together, hire one of them chefs, hire one of them masseuses, get rubbed down, pay, he's gone, and I go on about my business. I ain't got to wash no streaky drawers. I ain't got to look fine all the time because ain't no man in my fucking house. These guys are booked and busy. And their clientele is growing and growing and growing some more. So there's life on YouTube and then life in the real world. One of those women looked at least 80-something years old. At least. The first one had a gut that hit her thighs. Okay? So these men are capitalizing off the hate that Yah built. I will pass the mic and let me know if anybody wants to see the video again. I don't have a problem spinning it, but I digress.
So this is what I'm going to say. When I was in Atlanta, right before I moved, I left there in 2018, and this started to become really big down there at that time.
Okay.
And it's huge down there now. But it was, around 2018, I remember this guy offered me a massage, and I was just like, what is this like? I'm thinking, and then time went on, and he created a whole brand behind it and started posting his videos. And like, I moved, and I was like, you gave up that massage? Because he was a nice looking guy too. Let me be real clear about this. That's a nice looking guy. And so I'm gonna tell you why I like this. Because the energy behind this is a lot different than that hateful, nasty, angry, just energy where, and one would say the person who's capitalizing off of it is benefiting, but in reality, they really aren't. Do you understand what that does to your health when you're constantly putting out that type of nasty energy every day? Like that is it. It can't be good for you, right?
Well, Kevin died of hypertension.
You see, and I mean, we've seen a lot of people implode and explode that put this type of stuff out every single day, right? So the person who's creating the content or doing whatever, they're benefiting because they're making money and they're making people feel good, right? They're providing a service, so everybody is getting something out of it. Everybody's walking away smiling and feeling good, and like Jen said, like with people really need to catch up with modern times. Like people really need to just whatever ideas, and I had to take my own advice here. Whatever ideas, especially if you have a particular age, right? Younger people, this isn't new for them. This is their normal, but this is a new normal for us, right? And what that looks like is a lot of women who are successful. And once a woman becomes successful, I'm going to tell you guys, I'm not trying to be funny, but it's like they no longer, we no longer want to do certain things for a relationship, because it's just like, I was only doing that because I had to back then. But now that I don't have to, I kind of don't want to share my space all the time. Like all of my girlfriends of a particular age that are successful in doing it, none of them want to share their space. So all of this, you're going to get old and get lonely. I don't know who they are, because it looks the opposite to me. Like the older they get, the more successful they got. Yeah. Do they want some dick every now and then? Yeah. Do they want some company every now and then? Yeah. Who doesn't? But they don't want them to stay. They don't want them to stay. And I think that's hard. I think that's hard for some guys to accept in these modern times. But this is the way that the women are going, because it's just like it's fun. It's no commitment. I get my rocks off and go on about my business. Might get a little happy ending. You know, who knows?
Rod Veal says, if that's what I got to do, no thanks. But here's the thing: your wife would enjoy that very much. Your wife would enjoy that very much. If your wife was in position to get that chef or that masseuse to wash her ass or massage her gut or her folds, she would enjoy that very much, right? Very, very much.
Really said that? Like imagine you say you love somebody and you're like, I'm gonna do the bare minimum for you. That's crazy to me.
But that's why the divorce rate is what it is, because marriage sounds great in theory. Then you're sitting around with a lump on a log and your girl or your man is scrolling the internet and they see that shit. And then it goes in here, right? I said, these are cameras, these are audio recorders. And now that shit is engrammed in their head. Like, I want somebody to touch me like that. I want somebody to make me feel like that. And what you entertain will eventually happen. With or without your spouse, it will happen. And when it doesn't happen, the second worst thing happens. Resentment.
Yes.
Resentment. So you better hope your spouse has a way of sneaking around and making that shit happen, because if they don't, it's a fucking seed and it chokes them with resentment, and they're going to project that shit on you. You guys better get with the motherfucking program. This Disneyland idea that you have about marriage does not exist. Haram? Wait a minute.
Married man shaking his head in agreement, right?
See to Smoke says, Jen, I want to cater to you. Super chat me, baby. That's how people cater to me. Super chat me, baby.
Yeah, cash out. Tristan,
you're getting it wrong already.
Right? It's like
getting it wrong already. Well, I told you.
This is how you get my attention, baby.
I told you girls that some of the stuff that you see in that video is a part of my aftercare routine. So everyone doesn't get it, but some people do. Look, what's up?
I said the banana.
Banana. I'm lost.
You didn't see the video? You didn't see the video? Haran, you wasn't watching the video, the banana?
I was watching the no, not the banana, not the banana one. I was watching I was referring to the massages and shit like that. Yeah, we ain't doing the banana play. No, we don't do that.
What if she
Do
did? What's your
that.
banana dipped in chocolate? Then
See, Lily, see, this is why, you know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. There you go. Now, just a few things. I mean, I was reading an article and it was in regards to divorce, and a few women admitted to who are around for yesteryear when the good old days were on and popping. A number of these women admitted that during those times they put up with abuse, they put up with infidelity, they put up with a number of things because they just didn't have any options, you know. And I don't think we're having these candid discussions and these honest discussions that a number of women were being abused and a number of women were being financially abused. You know, we talk about the good old days, but yeah, your grandmother probably didn't tell you that your granddaddy was an asshole. Now, you know, another thing too is that, let me tell you something, and this is one of the things that I tell men all the time. You see, when they see things like the good old days and so on and so forth, it's quick to assume that the women love those guys and so on and so forth. It's quick to assume those things because, I mean, at the end of the day, he has all the cards, he has all the power. But let me tell you something in life, you know, you're most likely being told the truth when a person doesn't have to tell you it.
Okay, Rod Vio says, let him, can't knock the hustle, wouldn't be me though, would like to see black men doing something better for society. Well, here's the thing. There are a lot of black men doing a lot for society in the community. I don't know where you've been. I don't know why seeing these guys at work is all of a sudden making you a humanitarian of the black community. But there are a lot of black men in the community doing something for
You're
society.
right. I'm one of them, man.
And also, black women are part of the community. So they are doing something for the black community.
I'm confused. But he's never said that when they're spitting vitriol and hatred toward black men, he takes up for them. Like, I'm so confused with that comment.
This is what happens. This is what happens when men are catering to women. This is what they should be doing something for the community. What they doing out there massaging women and making them feel good. How dare they? How dare they? Go ahead, No Saint. Let No Saint speak. Go ahead, No Saint.
All right, Dave.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, it's interesting that comment, because I think the way that maybe he's looking at it, I'm going to assume, is that that's somehow a subservient thing to do, like that's something to be ashamed of. To me, those jobs they're doing, that's pleasurable. I mean, that's helping someone get along. That may, that person may be stressed and they come in and get that stuff done. All of a sudden they're treating their kids better or whatever. You know what I mean? So I mean, that's in no way a negative job to have. And I think we're so used to seeing women do things like that, and not just that, but you have like what Haran was saying. It's the same thing to the passport bros. Like, they go out and they try to find these women that are subservient, and they're subservient because they're really out of options most of the time where they live, and they're looking for a better life. So they're going to put up with a lot more. That's all that is. They're the same women that we have here. Just the women that we have here don't have to put up with your crap, and that's basically all it is. But yeah, it's interesting. And this guy, I like, man. He always comes out with a suit. I like a lot of those Kevin Samuel, and we had another guy come up in a suit. Remember that guy that came up in a suit somewhere in South America or something? Remember he was promoting.
Oh, you're talking about the Colombian pimp, the passport bro. Him and his wife pimp Colombia.
Yeah,
passport hoes.
Y'all could quote me on that too. Him and his wife pimp Colombia. I know who you're talking about. They pimps. They Colombian pimps.
I wasn't aware of him until that night, and then because everything started off so good, so I went and followed him at the beginning of the stream when he promoted, like I always do. And I don't know why I'm still following him. I need to unfollow him because sometimes it'll pop up, and that's exact everything that we was like, sir, you are like, everything we accused him of is who he is. And then you notice like a lot of his followers were also in the chat too, and they were all saying the same thing, like, sir, why are you on there acting different? You're acting weird tonight. You don't usually talk like this.
Right. Everybody was like, it's Cat. Rod, you're reaching. You said it's sex work. Did you guys see anybody having sex?
There's a lot of benefits to marriage, and we can crap on marriage, but that's the only way our group is going to transfer generational wealth. So I think
that it behooves you
To
appreciate the men that you're with.
Okay, James, are you married?
Am I married?
Yeah.
Now, okay, this is a
thing,
Yes or no?
right? Wait, Jen, Jen,
I'm
come on,
listening.
like just like you wanted to keep your certain people out of it, so do I.
Okay.
So
Okay,
I want to
fair
be
enough.
private. I want to respect my privacy.
Okay.
I'm married to the game.
That's what I'm talking about. All right. So, okay. All right. Somebody in the chat said that women back then had to be submissive all the time, right? In order to keep that marriage. And grandpa,
I can think like that. That's how I strive to do better, and that's how I can do better. So, how can women improve if everyone panders to them and they never hear the truth? And that's how you get a out of control obesity rate in our community. That's how you get 80% out of wedlock birth rate. Because if we can never tell both the men who need to be told the truth, get off your ass and work, and the women who need to be told the truth, close your legs, stop having babies out of wedlock, go to the gym, embrace your natural beauty. If we cannot tell anyone the truth, particularly the women, since that's who this conversation is about, are they going to be better off? How can they improve that way?
I think you answered your
James,
question already
right.
when you
James,
said.
go ahead, Lily.
I think he answered this question when he stated how his life got better, and you said it was self accountability, meaning the improvement comes from self, not people trying to shame you into better behavior, because no one gets shamed into better behavior. Let's be real. People get shamed into secrecy, people get shamed into hiding, but no one gets shamed into better behavior. So you answered your own question when you gave that statement about how your life got better. It's because you looked at yourself, right? You didn't mention anything about people telling you the truth and telling you about yourself. You said you told you about yourself. So that's where it comes from. It comes from making decisions, and at some point as an individual we look at ourselves, it's like, I don't like these results. Yeah, no, I don't like them. I'm going to do something different, and then we do something different. That's where it comes from.
Well, Lily, I always had men telling me the truth, and that's how it is to be a man. I don't know,
You live the life of you're a woman, but let me tell you what it's like to be an average modern man. You constantly get told the truth. If you're fat, just like Jen just did, she'll tell you you're fat. If you're ugly, they're gonna tell you you're ugly. If you're broke, they're gonna tell you you're broke. So
us men, we get a dose of accountability from a young age. So,
because we're never gonna be as hard on ourselves as the world is. The world is a cold
place. And if you leave it up to, let's say, the women in our community, they're going to be like, yeah, you go, girl. Yeah, I'm going to your baby shower. You having your fourth baby with Pookie out of wedlock. You go, girl. Yeah, you doing good. You go, girl. You 5'8" and 280 pounds, and you just got your leg chopped off because you got diabetes. You go, girl.
Oh my goodness, what is happening? What is happening?
I don't know. I'm trying to.
What I'm saying is, there's no that was my black woman impersonation.
Okay, I was trying to figure out what that was. Okay, thank you for clearing that up.
Okay.
What? Y'all didn't get that?
No.
Yeah, we got it. We got it.
Yeah, you got it at the end.
I mean, Tova, I agree. You know what I mean? He made some points. He's not, I wouldn't say he was necessarily wrong. However, James, the show tonight is, do men who cater to women do better in life? I showed a video, a little montage of men who are catering to women, and they're making a lot of money off of it. We're just saying that the vitriol that men are spewing online towards women is not working. People are pivoting and grifting to other areas because it's not working. Even Kevin Samuels, okay, the golf lover, he was pivoting out of that entire lane. So that is what we're talking about. But I have to agree with Lily. It's about self-accountability. No one is shamed into doing better. They're shamed into hiding or feeling even worse than they did already. And when you talk about women having children out of wedlock, well, a man impregnated her. So men are also having children out of wedlock. You can't blame women. It takes two to bring a baby. the planet.
Well, Jen,
did you know that the African American race in the United States is the only race that has more mothers than they do fathers? That's the only fact like that that's replicated within all the groups in the United States. So there are more baby mamas than there are baby daddies. Okay, because for every one future, there's 10 Sierras. Because let's keep it real. These women are going out and sexually selecting
the average man.
It's 19% of the population of Black men that are impregnating 60% of the women. So, but you know who gets blamed for it? You know who gets blamed for it? Men who don't have any kids and who are on their purpose. You blame all Black men for a small segment of Black men who are going out making babies.
Well, James, let me do the math real quick because this calculator is really good. Let me add this up. Okay, so you got the more baby mamas, the subtract and add to carry the two. Okay, so what this looks like, what this calculator is saying is that the Black men are having multiple baby mamas.
Yeah.
That's what the math is saying.
Yeah, that's what I just
said. I said 19% of the population.
Because it sounded like you were trying to put it on the women, but it's really the gentlemen that are leaving multiple homes without a father here. So what are we talking about?
51% of Black men are single and childless. Most Black men don't have any kids, okay? Because I know them, because I'm around successful Black men, because they don't want to deal with the baby mama drama and all of that. I mean, think about it. Think about the women that you know. Their baby daddies have multiple kids. It's a small amount of Black men. They're usually very charismatic, tall, slim, NBA player type guys. And Black women will skip over every day good men that approach them. Hey, I make $60,000 a year. I don't have any kids. Black women will take a Chad Ochocinco type of dude over a Jordan Peele any day. Because like you said yourself, Lily, once you get money and once women get money and they have achieved Maslow's hierarchy of needs, meaning they no longer need a man to provide them shelter, food, whatever. Then what do they want? They just want a man that's fine. That's all they want, a man that's fine. So they'll skip over plenty of good men that they say don't exist. They call them lames. They call them squares, like you guys did earlier. Either we're violent and gangsters, or either we're gay. There's never an average good Black man to society because we're always painted in a negative light, because if we don't tell our own story, if there's somebody else telling our story, they're always going to paint it in a way that paints us in a negative light. Some of it, which is our fault, some of it, which is not our fault. So, let's not pretend like women don't want to be baby mothers.
Oh my. Have you been looked over, James? Would you say that you've been looked over by Black women because do you consider yourself like swaggy, or do you consider yourself like nerdy, geeky, or lame? Like how would you categorize yourself? What's your height, first of all?
I'm 6 feet tall.
You're what?
I'm 6 feet tall.
You're 6 feet tall. So have you been looked over? Do you feel like you've been looked over by Black women in your lifetime?
Well, can I be honest with you, Jen?
Can I speak bluntly?
Yes, absolutely. Please do.
Most Black women are
disqualified. Like I wouldn't. So I have a Black girlfriend, right?
Mm-hmm.
But let me tell you, you want to know why she made the cut?
Yeah, sure.
Because of 3 reasons, okay? Because she is in shape.
She got good hair.
Because
she has her own hair.
And she embraces her own natural beauty, because she doesn't have any kids already by anybody else. So I have a Black girlfriend, and that's what we want. That we don't ask for much. Our standard, we just want you to be in shape. We want you to embrace your natural beauty, and we want you to not have somebody else's kid already. So as far as somebody have I been looked over? Okay, me, how I operate is, I just self-improve and I just work on myself, and then I just sit back and wait for choosing signals. So I don't know. I haven't been looked over because I'm never gonna go without. You know what I mean? No, I haven't.
Okay, so I'll say this, right? When you say that less men are impregnating more women, I just don't understand how you can blame women for getting pregnant when men are doing the most impregnating. Now, I understand that you don't have any children, right?
No.
Okay, so if you don't have any children, then you're in a position to have a woman that doesn't have any children as well. You guys are equally yoked. You don't have children, she doesn't have children. That's a great situation. But it is men impregnating the women at twice the rate. And just so when you say there are a lot of single baby mothers, how did they get babies? The men.
Okay.
The men are impregnating women. So how can you blame the women?
Okay, I can break it down for you right now. Do you want to hear it? I'll break this down so concisely for you, okay? There are 41 different types of birth control. There's not a child that comes into this world that a woman didn't want. I'll paint you a great example. Let's say that every baby starting tomorrow was born with a chip inside of it, that when that baby is able to turns into puberty and is able to have a kid, if that guy impregnates a woman, let's say he gets a beep on his phone and it's an app, and if he wants to abort that baby, he can do it by just pressing a button. If that was possible, if men controlled abortion, do you think there would be a problem with out-of-wedlock birth in the Black community? What I'm saying is they don't want these kids.
In the vagina?
They don't want these kids. The women want these kids.
So I will say this, men do have a button. The button is don't put your dick in a woman who you don't want to make a mother. Don't you think that's the biggest button? They walk around with their button in their pants. That's their button.
Right, and that's
Why most men, Black men, don't have any kids, because we see what's going on and we don't want nothing to do with it. But guess what? Nothing is going to be 100%. Nothing is obsolete. So there always is going to be a segment of the population that's willing to go out and have kids with multiple women and get them pregnant. It's just in other races, the women don't choose to get pregnant. See, white women go to college and high school and they may sleep with the bad boys. They may sleep with the chads. But the difference is they don't choose to get pregnant by them. But our women are incentivized by welfare, by Section 8, by public housing, and because of a lack of shame. And that's why our women don't care about having kids out of wedlock, and they'll use anchor babies to try to hold on to a man that they value and keep him in relationship.
Oh my. Haran, you are a Black man on the panel. Tristan, you are a Black man on the panel. Would you like to rebut?
I have no problem with women.
That's called catering to women, right there.
Well, sir, I literally have no problem with women. I don't know why do you want me to have a problem with women? I don't.
I think so.
I'm actually Jamaican, so like by proxy, I have no problem with women.
Do you have a response to those statements I just made?
Pardon?
Do you have a rebuttal to what I just said?
What would the rebuttal be? I mean, at the end of the day,
at
the end of the day, let's just look at it like this. If it is true that,
a guitar.
If
I got excited.
Me too.
If only a number of men only a small number of men are impregnating most of the women, then wouldn't it be safe to say that only a small number of men actually turn most women on?
Oh yeah, we all know about hypergamy, okay? We all know.
Wait 1 second. Wait 1 second. I'm not done. So it's safe to say that you and your ilk probably just don't have what it takes to turn most women on.
Thank you.
Look, hey, check this out.
Did you not just say I have a girlfriend?
No question, sir. It's a yes or no question.
I have a girlfriend.
No, you and your ilk. if most black men do in your age group, do if you're childless, if you're very unlucky in love, maybe you're unlucky in love because, well, you ain't got no sauce and you just don't get no drawers wet.
Well, you
Bars.
In a very vulgar manner, very vulgar, but maybe that's just the case. And look, man, at the end of the day, look, let me tell you something. And this goes to the Rod was in the chat, whatever. For instance, like male strippers. I hope you guys know like male strippers make exponentially more money than female strippers. You know, male personal trainers. They're real great with women. Musicians, guys who listen to women, actors, you know what I mean, guys who work out. You know, I don't know too many women who say, you know, they get turned on by dudes in zoot suits and, you know, and glasses. I mean, I just don't know. You know what I mean? Maybe you just, that's your thing, Jay? I mean, Jay, Jay's into zoot suits and glasses. That's her shit. So there you go.
Right.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm a weird child, though. I'm a weird child.
The point of the matter is this. You know, I don't know too much about the whole. You know, I mean, nobody wants nerds and so on and so forth and whatever, what have you. Look, like I'm geeky, I'm nerdy, I'm into all these things. You know, I have no issue with women. You know, maybe at the end of the day, nobody's really rocking with a lot of these gentlemen because they have no personality. Like, look, like, you know, Dragon Ball Z is not a personality thing. It's not.
So listen,
I don't make no Goku slander up in here, sir. This will not be
personality trait. Okay,
just don't blame those men. Don't blame those men
humor.
When you complain about
you have to actually exhibit. You have not exhibited any kind of charisma since you've been on here. You've been on here twice. You know what I mean? You've come in here. You sounded like a victim. Your voice is up here. You know what I mean? Like it's just. And
you know what? That's the problem with black men. They're too cool.
Maybe that is one of the issues. And the point of the matter is this: you're upset. I'm not trying to be cool. You're upset when another man doesn't climb on board and attack women viciously. I have no issue with women. I don't wake up in the morning wondering what women are doing. I am not obsessed with the female gaze. I got shit to do. I got bills to pay. I got a kid to take care of. I got real things going on. Maybe after that's all said and done, I'll call up Jackie and we go have a nice adult evening. Boom, 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 and that'll be the end of that. I don't climb on these panels talking about why only 20% of the guys are fucking 80% of the women. It just really doesn't fascinate me. So with that, you know, I mean, you have yourself a nice evening, sir.
So Donnie Fly 212 says, is it about men being more successful with relationships with women or making money off them? Both. If you are in a business that caters to women, you make more money than hating on women. And if you're looking for a relationship with a woman, you get more out of a woman if you cater to her. James, do you not cater to your girlfriend?
Cater. Hey, one thing though, real quick. So just like I said last time, right? I haven't taken no personal shots at nobody. I haven't insulted nobody. I just came on here. I don't know what I have to say. I just came on here and said, hey, I respect you, brother. Why do we always do this as black people? Tear each other down and talk about our appearance, talk about the way we look. Why are we constantly like doing that? And let me ask you this, like, my girlfriend, we respect each other. You know what I mean? We respect each other. You know what I mean? But listen, as far as somebody not getting women or these men not getting women, that's fine. If they're not getting women, that's fine. Just don't blame the problem with single parenthood on the men who don't get, like, you know, if most black men are childless, why do we go around blaming all black men and painting a picture like all black men are just going around making babies all over the place. Let's tell a more honest assessment of what's going on, you know, instead
We've never done that, James.
Well, I thought he just said, oh, well, if you can't get women, if these men can't get women, then I mean, listen, I get women, and I don't know what, you know, I'm in shape. I'm not overweight. I don't have like scruffy beard or anything like that. You know what I mean?
Are you getting the women that you desire, or are you settling? Because men who get the women they desire don't even have these talking points. They don't even think these things. These things don't even go through their brain.
You said, am I getting the women I desire? Listen, what you need to worry about is what I'm saying the truth. Is what I'm saying the truth. That's what we need to worry about. Because once again, we're not the ones going around complaining about single parenthood. It's the women that are. So I'm not complaining about, oh, boo, boo, you know, complain like women are complaining about, oh, my baby daddy's not around, this and this and that. Like
James, James, men and women complain on YouTube all day long. Men complain about women not being submissive or respecting them, and women complain about men. It's the same on both sides. There are a myriad of channels dedicated to women complaining and men complaining. There's a lot of complaining going on from both sides, so let's not be disingenuous.
Do you agree with anything I've said, Jen? Like, what do you agree with what I've said?
She said she agreed with some stuff earlier.
Yeah, I did. You don't listen, James. I agree with, I don't think that we should make fun of each other because we're different. I don't agree with you blaming women for pregnancy, okay? When men are supposed to be leaders in the community, what you're doing is absolving men from having the control of where they put their dicks. If you do not want to make a woman a mother, keep your dick out of her. That is the best form of birth control. Before the 42 birth controls you mentioned, the best type of birth control is do not stick your dick in anything you don't want to become a mother. Unless you're saying that women lead the community and men are just little puppy dogs with hard dicks and they don't know, they have no control. Then I will agree with you. But men are supposed to be leaders of the community. If you don't want to risk making a woman a mother, keep your dick in your pants. So I disagree with you. Well, yeah, but you're talking generally. I'm not talking about you. You're talking generally. So I'm talking generally. You didn't ask me about you. I don't know about your personal decisions.
Black men don't have kids.
Who's getting black women pregnant, James?
What?
They're called Pookies and Ray Rays.
And what race are they? And what race is Pookie and Ray Ray?
They're black.
All right, then.
We got here. We finally got here.
So it's black men.
Right, but most black women, a majority of black women have kids out of wedlock. Only a small percentage of black men are making these babies. And they're never going to stop.
So doesn't that make the men worse, that they're spreading their seed with abandon and not being fathers? They're just spreading their seed and anything that cracks his legs open. You don't think that men should be better leaders in the community and not lead with their dick?
For every one future, there's 10 Sierras, 10 of them. So what's worse, the one guy that's sexually irresponsible or the 10 women that got pregnant?
The one guy, absolutely the one guy is worse, 10 times worse. No, Saint, you wanted to say something?
Well, first of all, that last statistic, I'd really like to see the source on that because
it was made up. He's the source. He's the source, Saint.
But I wanted to ask him some serious questions. First of all, are you in a bathroom? Because you got an echo, and then I saw the door. It kind of seems like he's in a bathroom or an office.
Oh, it goes in and out.
You want to see where I'm at?
The sound goes in and out.
But listen,
Here, I'll show you where right now. I'll show you where I'm at right now.
You're in a stairwell.
And this is very aggressive.
Yeah.
Oh, see, look, now he's trying to hook himself to the white man. Oh my God. So what that say? Somebody's gonna come at Haran, gonna listen to Jen and Lily, and bend the knee for no Saint.
He was a little aggressive. But I wanted to get George up here so he could see two white people arguing. I really want to get George in here.
Right. We
But,
missed that. Our white on white balance on the block.
James, go back to wherever you were. You're losing your signal. Those cinder blocks are blocking
All
the
right.
signal.
Yeah, you froze, James. So
There
you got to go back.
Better. But I don't know, James. Seriously,
Where are you though? I'm curious. Where are you, James?
Like an office.
Don't give your exact location on the internet.
Tristan, shut up. Where are you, James? Tristan, you're making it hot.
So that's the Beverly Hills Hilton.
Nice.
That's the
Okay,
one
okay.
of the
Oh, he's in
story.
a hotel. Okay.
And that's
And that's nothing now. He's gone.
Hey, Beverly Hills still got shitty.
Okay,
areas.
so he's either in an office building or a hotel. Fine. I just don't know why he was so violent about showing you where he was at. Because he was like, "You want to see where I'm at?" I was like, "Where are you? Are you at where are you?"
Because he wants validation.
He's flexing. But I just don't listen. I don't. I hope he comes back up. I was going to ask him, like, evidently he's.
Lou Diamond said he's cheating.
He's cheating.
He's already stated that.
Mexican in there.
The side
Yo.
I mean, go ahead, no saint. What were you
though. I
saying?
ain't gonna lie. I
Yeah,
like James.
go ahead, no saint. What were you saying?
No, I mean, listen. He's already stated that he's pretty wealthy. He keeps on dropping,
No, he
Beverly
backpedaled on
Hills.
that one.
Beverly
He
Hills.
backpedaled
What's
on the
that?
wealthy thing. He
he
backpedaled
did?
on the wealthy. Yeah, he came back on that. He walked that one back.
Oh, so he's not
He
wealthy.
walked it back.
Yeah, because Jen called him on it, and then he was like, "Well, no, not wealthy. I'm talking about wealthy in love. Like he was something like that. You remember?
I don't even remember. I don't even. So
Yeah.
many people come through. I don't even remember what
Yeah,
that
he
man
walked
said
it
about
back.
his money.
Oh, okay. Well, I was gonna say because I mean he said he was in. Okay, now I understand. He said he was in Beverly Hills. He's in a hotel in Beverly Hills. That's what it looks like.
Okay.
I just
Oh,
don't-
maybe he works at the hotel because he's suited. Maybe he works at the hotel.
He might.
Yeah.
He might.
I
He
need
did
that.
tell
That's
us where he worked. He did. I can't remember.
He
at this
did. I
second.
don't.
It hit
I
me.
don't.
I have a really good long-term memory. Short-term, don't ask me what happened 5 minutes ago.
The chat is saying he's cheating. He's with the side chick.
to be honest.
At the hotel with his Martin Luther King suit on. It's like,
Oh my
No,
God.
she didn't.
What's up, Lorraine? Lorraine, weren't you going to compete on Block Talent Battle on a Saturday? We're doing it again. We're doing it again this Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern. For anyone interested, if you have a talent, sing, rap, dance, belly dance, whatever it is you do, beatbox,
that's my buddy that
poetry.
plays the piano. He plays the piano.
Oh, okay. I thought he was supposed to compete. Well, Saturday,
Yeah.
8 p.m. Eastern on the block. Pull up with your talent. Win $100 cash. Get you some lunch.
That's right.
I love buying shit for that.
Yeah, I mean, I understand his perspective. I just wish that we can get a perspective that doesn't sound like Kevin Samuels talking points and regurgitating the manosphere bullshit. It's hard to communicate with these guys because it's like, how much of this is you and then how much of this is parroting? It's the same. I mean, verbatim, you know exactly what sentence they're going to say. The statistics are there more. What do you think, son? What do you think? What do you think? And remember, I told you earlier, a lot of these guys are married and have girlfriends, but they still feel the need to project this vitriol versus Black women. You have a girlfriend. You have a
Right.
wife. I don't understand this. What is it?
It goes back to what the question I proposed to him. Oh, Lewis, it's on my list. I have like 2 books before that one.
Thank you for the
but-
super chat, Louis Cognier.
Thank you. It goes back to what I asked him earlier. It was like, well, we're not, I can believe that you're getting women, right? I can believe that. But are you getting the women you desire and that you
That's
want?
a great
Are you-
question.
Yeah, because people who are getting what they want out of life are just not walking around doing it. They're not thinking about it. They're just not
Happy
thinking.
happy hoes ain't hating and hating hoes ain't happy.
It's just saying. And then I was thinking about the whole, because people want to refute the catering to women thing, and I look at my parents that's been together forever, right?
Mhm.
And if you meet them today, like they are genuinely that loving, happy couple, right? But they went through a lot of trial and error. And part of that, my dad realized, like, oh, when she happy, I'm happy. When I cater to her, she caters to me. Duh. Like, and once he started realizing that, his life got a lot better. Like he started getting what he wanted, right? And so I've seen it with my own eyes. I mean, there is something to that happy life thing, because you make her happy, she's definitely going. That's just how women work. Like, it's just how they, I don't know.
You know what men miss a lot in these spaces. Even the stat he's throwing at us is a testament. It is a testament. They bring up the Pookies and Ray Rays, but there are a lot of quirky, nerdy, geeky guys out there with kids too. Okay, it's not just the Pookies and the Ray Rays that are impregnating the entire, Black female population. But it is a testament to women tolerate a lot from men. We tolerate them not having money. We tolerate them being short. We tolerate them not being attractive. We tolerate them not being cool. We tolerate them not having swag. Okay, women tolerate a lot, and that's a testament. Like, women tolerate a lot from men. So if you can't get a woman who is designed to tolerate the most disgusting things about you, something is really wrong with you. The problem is you, because women are literally built and molded and reared to tolerate the worst a man has to offer, and then we will rationalize it and try to hold on to them. So it's not a matter of can you get a woman, it's can you fucking keep her? Because women will date a nerd, a geek, a lame, a pookie, a Ray Ray, a gangster, a nice guy, a blue collar guy, a corporate guy. We will pursue, let you chase, submit to, but can you keep her? I don't believe that, well, women are passing men up, that's bullshit. Go to fucking Comic-Con. There's nothing but women in there dating geeks and nerds. That is cap. You're capping. It's cap. It's cap. Because women, wherever the men are, that is where women are going, whether they're nerds, pookie, whatever. So if you can't get a woman, it really is you, because women want to be with men, right? It's a testament. If all these women are pregnant, from the Pookies and Ray Rays, it is a testament that women will give you a shot. But I think the geek squad, the nerd squad, the whatever, it's like, oh, it's because I'm geeky. No, it's because you can't keep a woman. Look at me. I will date a fucking geek and a nerd in a minute, but can you keep me? Can you keep me? Since you're always talking about you can't get a shot, I'm going to give you this shot. Can you keep me?
Right.
Can you keep me? Right? So I don't know. I call cap on that. I
do too. There was this guy I used to work with named Mike G. Mike G used to get the baddest chicks, and they used, like, when it ended, it was not, like they wanted him back, and Mike G was a nerd and all this stuff, but he knew how to make them laugh. He knew his strong point, and he focused on that. He wasn't the best looking guy. He was tall, but he was like that awkward tall, that lanky tall, right? Wasn't the best looking, but he knew that was his selling point. And not just get women. I'm talking fine women. Like all his women were fine, and long-term relationships and stuff like that. So but they don't want to listen to the advice that's given on this channel so many times.
We say it over and over again. Thank you for the super chat, Louis Cognier. Louis Cognier says, I think it's a mixture of a victim to social programming and technology has made us socially dumb as a society. I second that. And with that said, welcome MRM, Modern Renaissance Man, to the panel. What say you after this melee of thoughts that happened here tonight?
Man, you guys have no idea. Ooh, this is like...
Was it painful?
Yeah, well, the thing is that, some of this, I'm just coming into terms of all these new terminology and everything. I didn't know. Some of my subscribers would tell me, hey, go over here to this panel and talk on this panel. So I would say over the course of maybe the last 3 months, I probably have gone on anywhere from 50 to 80 different channels and panels where these certain type of discussions is being talked about. And I'm still catching on to the whole manosphere thing, and people was like blown out their minds because I'm like, who is Kevin Samuels? How do you not know who Kevin Samuels? I don't know. I've been married 22 I'm about to be married 22 years. I don't know Kevin Samuels or some of these other so-called gurus that are on here. All I know is that the way that we were made to move for thousands of years has not changed. I know that the way, if a man is moving the way that he was designed to move, I know that a woman would naturally be attracted to that because her nature can't help it but be attracted to that. So when I hear men getting in here and I hear all that, man, these women ain't doing, I'm looking at y'all like, bro, y'all, I say it all the time. I would have no problem getting and keeping a woman in this day. Y'all would make it so easy for a person like me because y'all are doing nothing more than reading a brochure. They don't want to be. Let's see if they gonna pay for their food. Am I gonna pay for their food? They not. Well, what if she do this? What, bro? I'm like, I don't even look. But while y'all all doing y'all little research and looking at these talking points, I will be the one over there getting in all 1 million of those women over there waiting for one of y'all just to come and talk to them. You telling me out of 1 million of those ladies sitting over there, y'all not even gonna try to go at one? No. And like you guys were mentioning earlier, is that, you know, I'm just being real. Like, I'm just keeping it real with y'all. I look in the mirror and I know what myself looks like. Okay. You should have seen some people on this other panel that was on a week ago or so. I told them, I said, if Jay-Z can pull Beyonce, I know good and god dang on well that would be easy for me. No, because I'm just saying no. We was all saying this based off of looks and how you and the shape and everything is. I was like, I would have no problem snagging Beyonce. Then if that's the case, if Jay-Z, wow. So what I'm saying therefore is that if you hear a lot of people talking about all these women want are the Pookies and the Ray Rays, well, the reason why it is because y'all are not going after those women that's going after Pookie Ray Rays. They feel like this is all we got because y'all not pursuing them. But no, is it because if we do, have you even tried it? No, but it's just the statistics say, see, that's where you messing up at. You sitting back doing nothing more than reading what these statistics say and all that. And those statistics have sat there and got into your mind and got into your subconscious, and they kept you from even pursuing going after them, period. You just sit back and complain again to the panels and all these spaces they call it and talk about how bad women are. But if you was moving like you're supposed to as a man, you would have no problem attracting that type of woman. Well, no, see, it's easy for you to say, oh, here we go. That's what I'm saying. Then they get into, it's easy for me. Y'all, I'm locked down. I'm locked in. What do you mean it's easy for me to say? You know, it's like, no, it's just that you've been trained to make up excuses for why you're not going after what you claim that you want. Is that really what you want, men? Is that really what you want, ladies? Or have you been told to want that? Mm-hmm. And that's when you get down to the nitty gritty, you try to ask these people that they don't even know what they even want. They've been told what to want.
And then when they meet someone, when they come across someone who knows what they want, it's like acid. Like when you tell a man, well, you married? I'm not married, but I don't want to be. Well, see, that's about, I don't want, listen to what I said. Well, you going to end up not getting married. Listen to what I said. I said, I don't want, it's like, it doesn't compute in their brain. We're not all the same. The goals are not all the same, but they're so used to and fixed to what it is that they were told that they want. And I had to grow up and ask myself, do I want a forever with a man? Do I want to have 2.5 children? Do I want to be a home? Wait a minute. Or was that told to me? Everybody's different. There's no way that one formula works for so many people. We're so dynamic. Humans are so different. It doesn't come from a place of bitterness or men ain't shit. I love men. Men are fucking amazing. Does it mean I want to keep one? Just the one for the rest of my life? No, it doesn't fucking mean that. Men are amazing. But I was curious what you have to say, MRM, about what he was saying, because a lot of the guys in these spaces do bring up those stats of the baby mama, the black quote unquote baby mama, and most of them. It was confusing to me how he was like, there are more baby mamas than there are fathers. And I'm like, then that means the men are spreading their seed with abandon.
That's why.
Does it not?
If there's more baby mamas than there is fathers, then obviously the men are getting all these women pregnant. I mean, well, no, it's a lot of Virgin Marys out there. No, I mean,
exactly. That's what I was trying to figure out.
But no, that's what it is. When it all comes down to it, like I said, this is really strange for me because if they are conducting themselves and moving how men are supposed to move, then this would not be an issue. Mm-hmm. If you are a man and you have it set in your heart and your intentions is to do nothing more than go around smashing these girls with the intentions of possibly getting them pregnant, not having wanted anything to do with them or the child, that's our fault. That's our fault, especially if that is your intentions. If a man of a certain caliber was saying, well, I'm going to, like, you know, like I said, you said everybody's different. But if you are of a certain caliber saying, I just want to be with a life partner, or if not, you just want to say, I want to be married. If not, I just kind of want to just be really good friends. And we might be friends of business, but at least have the responsibility to say, but I'm not about to sit there and take the risk of actually leaving you with a child or getting you pregnant, you know. But that's the issue right there, because most people don't want to go down that road. I literally had some mentees watch a video that I was on the panel with last night, and they sat there and they felt some type of way because they saw these black men come at me. Because what you will find, if among us, if there are a lot of black men that were raised by single women, you will find that a lot of these men don't even know how to properly move in their masculinity, because all they learn is how to respond to situations according to what their mom has. That's all they know. So when they do come across somebody that is moving in masculinity, they will buck up against it. So whenever you have someone like me, and like I said, it's not to throw anybody's face. I've been married, about to be married 22 years. If I'm talking about a lot of things of how to keep a woman, I got these people that's never been in a relationship longer than 2 years telling me, no, that ain't right. No. See, no. I have no, it's amazing. I have no idea what I'm talking about, but I'm 22 years like, so man, the problem is that, see, these women, bro, I'm trying to tell you, it's not rocket science. Are you moving? I had to break it down to almost like, I know they felt insulted by it, but I was like, y'all ever played with magnets? You know, it has a positive side and a negative side. If you try to make the two sides go together, they don't fit. No matter how you try to put those magnets together, they're going to go around each other. But if you flip it around, in other words, I was saying, if one side is masculinity and one side is femininity, if you put those two together, you don't even have to work hard. They just click. But if you got a masculinity and then you got masculine on one side, no matter how you try to put that together, it doesn't click. Even if you try to make it work, it's going to be a whole bunch of strenuous thing with it that you got to force it to touch. And even if you let go of it, it's going to split because it wasn't designed to be that way. And even with that being said, I told them, if a woman is moving like she's supposed to, a man is moving like he is supposed to, it's amazing how they can just end up seeing each other and finding each other. And people always say what? That chemistry was there. Or they say that attraction was there. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
but no, that ain't it, man. See, because these modern women, man, I'm done. I'm like, okay. And here it is, though. There were modern women. There were modern women in the chat while I was saying all this. All of them putting up hand claps, amen, yes, but they're sitting there still telling me, dudes are still telling me, no, that ain't it. But then the modern women are saying, yes, it is.
You have women and happily, successfully married men saying the exact same thing. I'm not
a marriage type of woman, and I agree 100% with what he said. 100%. If a man is moving like that, he becomes attractive. I'll be like, hey, shawty. Okay.
I mean, and it's like, I understand that, things are completely different in this world, but at the same time, this is what throws a lot of people off, is that I say things like this. I say, what changes besides, I guess you can say, lawful stuff when he puts a ring on your finger? Does that all of a sudden, does that mean the dynamics of the relationship change because you got a ring on the finger? No. A married person and an unmarried, let's just say a married couple and just a regular couple themselves can have the same type of success within the relationship. The only thing that's different is when you're married, is going to be like, you married, are you filing jointly or you're not filing? That's pretty much what it comes down to. But that should not change the dynamics of the relationship. And that's why they say, no, but see, people are trying to get married. It does not matter, because if you're moving like you're supposed to, you can end up having that girlfriend and she can be with you for the rest of your life. Don't necessarily mean you got to be married, but the relationship is there. Man, so, but what you don't understand, see, on Kevin Samuels, page 16, okay, all right, okay.
The book of Kevin Samuels.
Man, man.
Oh, look at who's here. You got something to say to us, Damien?
Is that Great Pill? No, that's not him. No, okay, I can't. He had the hat down a little. I couldn't see him. I know who he is, though.
Hi, Damien. You got something to say to us, Damien?
Yeah, I got something to say.
I'm listening. Let me turn my earphones up. I'm listening, babe.
I'm just curious about something. Like, me and you got into our shit all because, I felt some kind of way about you coming to my family. And then old boy mentioned yours, and you sprung up like a motherfucking mountain lion protecting her young on the cat. And I'm just saying, do you think that's any kind of hypocrisy that you can come at somebody's family, but somebody come at your family, then it's all love and it's all fair game when it's somebody else's?
Okay.
Can you?
So
Am I completely wrong?
no, I'll answer your question. First and foremost, I want to say I think you're a punk bitch because you ran off this panel. Nobody ran you off. That's the first thing. The second thing I don't like that you did is that even though you made a
Hold on.
decision, not to be here on your own, you weren't ran off. You made that decision on your own. You went running to my comment section to do some bitch shit and complain about the block, right? To let it be known. Thank you, everybody, for looking out for me. And this is the third thing that I'll say. No one went after your family. You brandished your family. Matter of fact, I wasn't even the woman that asked, isn't your wife white? That wasn't me, okay? It was another woman on the panel that night that asked that. You responded to her, yes, she is. And that's when it blew up, okay? You brandished your white wife. No one would have known she was white had you not said. I guess he's done.
All right.
Connection.
I mean, the gall, the gumption, and the audacity. And here's the thing, and this is a great exhibit A, where men like this talk all the shit in the world about the block, okay? And then they lurk, and they lurk, and they lurk. And then that situation between Rod and I made his dick hard, and he got bold enough, he untucked his nuts, all right, to come up here and ask me a question. And he tried to compare it to what happened with his wife when the situations were different. He was up here playing Malcolm X, okay, sleeping with a Becky, married to a Becky, had children with a Becky. So what happened on that night, if you're curious, okay, or you're nosy or whatever, what happened on that night was the whole panel turned up because they got tired of his pro-blackness act. That is what happened that night. No one attacked his family or his kids or anything. He came up here talking about his gated community and his white wife understands and blah, blah. He felt insecure about the conversation. But what happened between Rod Veal and I was he directly mentioned my grandson. Nobody directly mentioned Damien's wife. He brandished her. Another young lady on the panel said, isn't your wife white? And all hell broke loose then. Okay, because like many men who are married to white women, okay, they try to act like they're the alpha and the omega of Black power, and all hell broke loose on that night. So I find it very interesting, but not so much that he's been lurking and lurking and lurking, because this is a guy who didn't want to be here, right? This is a guy who didn't want to be here. Nobody ran him off. I never said don't come back here. I didn't even drop him from the panel. But what these motherfuckers do, okay, is they talk a lot of shit behind my back like bitches, and then they stay on the lurk. What Jen talking about? Because damn, that show is good, but I can't go back on there because I left. And I'm going to look stupid if I go back on there now. But there's a fucking good show. Fuck, I got to keep watching. And that's what happened. So the situation between Rod and I made his dick hard because he probably lurks all the time. And that goes to a lot of people that lurk, who claim they don't like me, but they on the lurk all the time. Hi, how y'all doing? So no, that's not what happened with his wife. And you could tell that it's still a thorn in his side. And I'll close with this. The issue with Dame is that he's been catching hell from people in his community for choosing a white wife. Again, I say this, and I said it before. Your issue has nothing to do with the Latina on the block with Jen. Has nothing to do with me. Before Damien said eyes on me, he was catching hell for having a white wife. Catching hell. He admitted it. He admitted it. How many times have we heard Damien say, oh, I get it because I got a white wife, I can't speak.
Right.
That was Damien's reality before he met me. What they try to do is project it on me, and I'm not going to allow it. I'm not going to allow it.
Right.
Purred. Lurk on now. Now you could continue watching On the Block with Jen. Lurk, lurk.
That is really interesting. I literally did a live stream yesterday, and it's been something that's been said to me, I would say, for probably I'll say we're our 5th year in marriage. That's something that's been said to me for years. And I never took offense to it. But yesterday I finally went on ahead and I got my stuff together and got my notes and everything together. And I did a video. My video yesterday literally is titled, "Why do most Black women assume that my wife is white?" And then I said, I kid you not. And I said, and it says it's deeper than what you think. So it's interesting.
Is she white? Is she white?
No.
Okay.
No.
So why do they
And-
assume that? That's interesting.
Well, here's the thing. What it is that I call like different states and places that I've worked at, and I just never thought about asking my coworkers, and now my employees. I never thought about asking them, have I ever mentioned the color of my wife? Because when I go and I talk about my family, I just say, oh, my sons, or I say my wife, oh, my wife cooked this, but never once did I ever say, oh yeah, my black wife or my mixed wife or my white wife. I just never mentioned race, right? But then when I go into these speaking engagements, I do know, so it's just the truth. And then, like I said, it's not like it's offensive, but the black women are not asking this out of like, to be vile or vindictive. They just say, they'll go, I bet your wife is white, isn't she? And I'll just laugh. I'm like, what? I'll just laugh it off. But I'm like, where are we getting with this? And I wish I can go grab it because I have it in my journal. But I get asked that a lot, right? Now check this out. I had to go and call employers and coworkers of mine from years and ask them, why did y'all think whenever I would talk about my wife, why did y'all think that she was white? And they were like, well, is she? I'm like, no. They're like, well, some of them, they've never seen it, but some of them have. But my point is this. When I talk about my wife, I notice I always talk about how my wife's characteristics are. And I did this on my videos. I talked about how my wife moved. I talked about how she talks. I talk about how she's a clean freak. I talk about all these things. And what I end up saying to these group of ladies, I say, it's really interesting that if I mention them, I mention how my wife is sweet. I mention that she's soft spoken. I mention that she doesn't like to be out there, me and her. And I speak my wife like, I'd rather be in the background. I talk about how my wife, when she's out and about, she'll say, hey, I'm at the store. Do you need me to get something? She'll say, hey, have you thought about a new recipe you might want to try? Because if so, let me know. I'll go. I talk about how she folds the clothes. I talk about all these things. And when I talk about this, I get the response, your wife white, ain't she? So,
okay, I get it. Okay.
So when I say that, I thought about it and I was like, wow, is it that bad? Or is it that instilled in the subconscious of a lot of people's mind that those characteristics of my wife is associated with a white woman? And they were all like, well, I never thought about that. I mean, I said, so no, that's what I'm saying. You really have to think about that. And no, she's
That's
not.
deep.
Yeah,
That's
it's
deep.
like so her being all those things, and better yet, when I talk about this and I show them, like when I go to those speaking engagements, I'll show them a journal that I wrote in like when I was 16, 17 years old, and I told them, I said, my wife is going to be mixed. She's going to be light-skinned. She's going to be something like that. She's going to have full lips. She's going to have some hips on it. She's going to have a booty. This is all the things that I wanted out of a woman. And I tell them, and I said, and I got it. And I wanted my wife to be exactly how she is now, right? But at the same time, I was letting them know that me, the person that I was at that time, I know I seemed like I was young, but the streets caused me to be raised early because, no parents in the home, had to do this stuff all on our own. I told them I had to be put in the position to where I would be able to actually be with a woman like that, because you're not going to be thuggish acting. You definitely are not going to be talking like that. You got to work on that temper. You got to work on being able to I know you've been doing this on your own, but then you got to be able to take, some type of advice, some type of another perspective, because you're used to your own. So work on those things first before you're going to be able to get a woman of that caliber, then come back, So I did everything that I was supposed to do. And then, like I said, when I was talking about the whole attraction to magnet thing, fell into it. If my wife was so-called moving like a lot of these women do today, what made this woman who graduated from high school, already had her degree, had her own car, had her own place, what made this woman want to get behind a guy that's not even out of high school yet?
Ooh.
What made her say, okay, this, I know. Yeah, what made her say, okay, yeah, I get you're 18, I'm 25 and whatever. What made her say, I'm going to get behind this guy who's not even out of high school yet, even though she knew what I was planning on doing, going to school in the medical field and all that. But what made her take that risk? Because in today's standards, according to what I hear, that's why I say in a lot of these spaces, no woman is going to go for a guy like that. He don't have what does he have a six-figure? Does he have what made her do that? And she was part of a very big organization with the black sororities. What made her, a woman of that caliber, go after a guy like that? And that's when I try to tell them, no matter what, because of how you guys are designed, if he is moving in a particular type of way, they are drawn to that. And that's what happened.
Thank you. That's why I don't believe. Thank you. I say it's a testament to women. Okay, if you are sitting perfectly in your masculinity, as they say in the YouTube streets, women will follow. Women will follow. You don't have to have the 6 figures. You don't have to have the height. You don't have to have. Here he come again.
Before we start.
Now listen.
Let me tell you, if y'all don't think On the Block with Jen is the best fucking show on YouTube,
Right.
I don't know what to tell y'all. Thank you for the super chat, Louis Cognac. Louis Cognac says, honestly, the way this economy is going, if you are single, dating should be the last thing on your mind. Get new skills and your money up. I can agree with that. I think that's the less bumpy way. I think it's the less bumpy way because you don't know how much a woman is willing to ride with you. So if I was a man, I'm not a man, but I'm just saying if I was a man, I would try to get as much as possible, accumulate as much as possible before I ventured out to deal with women. Because women we're very dynamic, funny creatures. And I say that as a woman. We're very, sometimes we change our minds and we're hormonal. That's just, you might as well start out with the best bait possible. That's what I would recommend. Start out with the best bait possible. But
I think,
what do I know?
A lot of them are just, I think, like the young men and the young women that we mentor, we that's what I'm saying. That's why I mainly deal with the ones that are between the ones that are like what we call like possibly preteen all the way up to possibly the age of 24, 25. Those are the main ones that I deal when it comes to young men and young women. Mm-hmm. And the reason is because, we push them. And when I say push, we make it a great and awesome thing to strive for being in a relationship. Now, not necessarily being married, but striving, you moving as a man, you moving as a woman, a relationship coming together. Great. And the thing is, what a lot of us weren't taught to do, we weren't taught or prepared to actually be ready for those certain situations that's come into a relationship. They always throw marriage out there, which is great. But just because you're married and you're not married and you both are in a long-term relationship, you're still going to deal with the same thing. I don't know why people think that people that are boyfriend and girlfriend and live together, stay together, like they're going to be different than somebody that's married. No, you still deal with the same thing. So what I tell them is this, I said, if you're articulate, somebody tickles your stomach, what do? You laugh. If somebody cracks a joke or something like that, what do? You laugh. Mm-hmm. If somebody in your family passes away, how come we don't want to face that? You were meant to deal with that. You know what I mean? If it's no, there is no, I'm going to try to be strong. No, you were meant to cry if your mom passed away. You were meant to cry if your father, you were meant to do that. So do that. Now you don't mind laughing when stuff is funny, but then you don't want to deal with the stuff when it comes to might be considered uncomfortable or stressed, but you were meant to deal with it. So we let them know that these things are going to come. So we're preparing you for it, because when it comes, you're going to go, oh, this is that situation that Mr. Ty was talking about. So what do I do? Let me breathe a little bit, let her get it out, whatever like that. And I'm going to think about this logically. Okay. And we let them know, oh, yeah, it's going to come times where you just like, you know what? I know this is what she's doing with it. This is this thing that she does, whatever like that. Y'all get to that when y'all PMSing. I know that. So, okay, baby, just what? Boom, 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 boom. I'm going downstairs, going downstairs for this first day or two.
Hey.
All right, you know what I'm saying? But it's like people.
Third day, bring chocolate, though. Third day, bring chocolate.
Yeah, that's easy. I know which chocolate. I know that it can't be milk chocolate because it makes her face break out. I know this. So it's like when that happens, I'm like, here it is right there. Boom. I'm downstairs, babe. Whatever you need, just go ahead and, shoot me a text if I need to run to this. That's what I'm saying. But most people don't know that they would run from that. Or, man, this problem, man, what? Man, every time she PMS, man, she always, bro, that's part of it. See, nobody's just telling them this. It's all kind of other different variables, but that's just a kind of an example, though.
Smart man. Smart man, smart lessons, because I think that's something that yesterday we had a show and I was surprised to hear how much men didn't know about a damn vagina. And I was like, you chase it your entire life. You should know the function. So I agree with you. They don't talk to little boys and young men about that. Go ahead, Damien. What do you need?
Yeah, I just want to express what you said. Number one, there's a difference between, you can come at me all day. I'm grown. I can handle it. I told you. We've had brief shit before. It's just when you bring the kids into, just like you. You all good with like people coming at you saying all kinds of shit, but you got to admit, when people bring your children or your grandkids in it hit a little bit differently. There's a level of disrespect that you think is just it elevates the level you think is of disrespect. That's all I'm saying. It's just like you really got mad when old boy just in passing mentioned your grandson, but you was like, well, your white kids and your white this and your this, your kids is white and this, that's all this kind of shit to my children. That's why I got upset. Even if it was my wife is grown, so she wouldn't give a, but it's the kids that fucked with me, and because I'm super hyper protective of my children, and it's just that's the part that fucked with me.
Okay. Are you drinking tonight? Are you drinking tonight? First question.
No.
You're not. You're sober.
Nope. I'm sober straight up.
Okay. So when you first came up, the issue was your wife. Now that was a lie. And then the second time you come up, I let you up again. Now you're bringing up your children. Who brought up your children?
You did.
When did I bring up your children?
The whole time you was like, you said they're having children. You called my children white like 4 times in the conversation. If you look at it back, you was like, yeah, you. I'm sure you played it a lot of times. We've moved on because it was like what 6 months ago. I don't know how long ago it was. You probably played it over and over again. So since you played it over and over again, okay, listen, motherfucker, you came up here. What do you mean we don't have to do this? I let you speak uninterrupted. I let you speak uninterrupted. So now I'm going to say what I got to say because you're not just going to sit there and lie on me. Okay? Okay? All right.
You have an issue. Let's not divert. Let's not divert. Your children are white. Your children are white. So let's not divert. Let's not divert. You sat on this panel like all of us have and roasted people and went after people. However, you are hypersensitive about being married to a white woman. You've mentioned it before. Yes, you are. You've mentioned it before. You've mentioned it before. You've mentioned it before. You've actually sat here and said, okay, oh, why? Because I got a white wife. I can't say X, Y, and Z. Oh, this happens all the time. You said that. Yeah. We didn't say that. That night, the night in question, okay, one of the women, I'm not going to say her name because she's not here to defend herself, but one of the women said, isn't your wife white? And that's when all hell broke loose. You're not going to sit there and lie and say that I went after your kids. You're full of shit. I did not go after your kids. Okay, I did not go after your kids.
The way it went down.
I don't want, Damien, I don't want to mute you. I want to have this conversation because you came up here after lurking God knows how long. So I want to have this conversation. I am giving you the mic.
The only thing I remember you saying about the kid was that she's pretty, probably going through because she's pretty, or like, that's what I remember about the kid. That's what I remember about the kid.
That is what I said, Lily. I said because she's pretty, right? Because he said that his daughter gets a lot of hate from dark-skinned girls, and I said, "Well, are you saying that because she's lighter or prettier? Are you saying that?"
I never said there's no dark-skinned
girls. You said, yes, you did. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. You was like, "Oh, they don't like her." I said, "You said they don't like her because she's pretty," and I said, "What makes you think that that's why they picking on her?" Remember that? You said that they pick on your daughter. You said that they pick on your daughter because she's pretty. And I said, what makes you think that these other girls are picking on her because she's pretty? What makes her prettier than them? That is what I asked you. But aside from that, no one attacked your children. No one attacked your wife. The subject was, how can you be up here and play pro-black? Same thing that we said about Kevin Samuels. The subject was, how can you be up here and play pro-black with a white woman? That was the subject. No one attacked your wife and no one attacked your children. But what you did was you ran off of here and tried to drop that narrative in my comments and tried to spread that narrative. And then you took me out of a group chat. I unfollowed you. Why were you still looking at my stories?
Look,
hold on. How did you end up looking at my stories, Damien? I unfollowed you on Instagram. Why did I see your mug in my stories all the time? Because remember, you don't like me. I attacked your wife and your children, allegedly.
Hold on. So, number one, you got shit way twisted. And I hope that No Saint Haran can step up and say, I did not.
No, don't pull nobody else in. This is about me and you. Don't punk out. Don't pull nobody else in.
Right,
this is me and you. Let's go mano y mano. Let's go mano y mano. Don't come up here looking for backup.
Let me talk.
Don't come up here looking for backup. Mano y mano.
Let me talk. Oh, but Lily can jump in on your side of it, but okay.
Because Lily was here. Were you guys here that night? Who was here that night? Who was here that night?
I was here that night.
They hit me up after the show.
Okay, Damien wants you to jump in for him. Damien, Heron, would you like to rescue this man? Anybody else was here that night? Who else was here that night?
First of all,
No Saint, were you here that night?
Wait a minute. Hold for a second.
You were here that night too? Okay, great.
Hold for a second. I'm gonna say this right now, man. You came up here to speak to Jen. Now, I'm not getting involved in this because it's about you and Jen. Now, let me explain something to you. I never told you this because it's nobody's business. Well, since we're talking about it, since we're all going to pull it out on the fucking table, Damien, let me explain something to you. When you did what you did, me and her, I defended you, man.
I believe you did because you hit me.
No, wait a minute, brother. I was the only one who defended you. I was the only one.
Nah, no Saint hit me.
Wait 1 second. I was the only one.
Well, no, I defended him too at first until he left that message.
No. Wait 1 second. Let me clarify. When I say I'm the only one who defended you, I'm talking about behind the scenes. When the whole shit happened, when you dropped your comment and so on and so forth, I tried to smooth things out. Now, me and her, this is nobody's business, but I'm just saying anyway. Me and Jen got into a flat out dog drag out fucking fight over me, you know what I mean, sticking up for you. My friend for 10 years, man. My business partner. Me and her got into a fucking drag out fight because I defended you and I understood where you were coming from. I don't know you. I know her. But the fact that I chose your perspective over her kind of did bother. Kind of did create a bit of a situation and a rift between her and I for a bit of a second. Now, these are the things I didn't tell you about because I'm not that kind of guy. You know what I mean? I don't talk about, you know what I mean? You and I, we don't have discussions about Jen.
Never.
Jen and I don't have discussions about you. The only thing that Jen knows is that I still say what up to you. I still fuck with you. But I would say this right now, respectfully. Don't drag me into this right now because you have no clue what I actually did behind the scenes and what I actually said. You know what I mean? When it came to you and protecting you and you know and sticking up for you and so on and so forth. Because this is a prime example of the situations that I don't talk about. This is really nobody's business because I'm the man who I am. So respectfully.
All right.
Situation and had that between you and her, man.
I wasn't trying to bring you in on some let's double teamer. I was bringing on some like, am I saying was correct? But if you want to fall back and you don't want to be a part of it, I will respect that.
Okay.
I will wholeheartedly respect that. I'll do the same for you, no saying too. I respect that. I'll make it a mano-a-mano situation. All right. But I just can't have you sitting up there saying what ain't real, what ain't 100%, because I did not say black girls were bullying my child. I never said that. Those words never came out of my mouth. You said, what if black girls said something, got mad and beat up your daughter? You said that. I didn't say that.
And then what did you respond with?
I said, I wouldn't tell her that it was a color thing. I say they would probably be jealous because you're prettier than because I think my daughter's fucking beautiful.
Okay, so you think she's pretty? You think that she would be prettier than the other black girls? And I asked you, why do you think that your daughter would be prettier than them, and that would be their issue? But why did you think that would be their issue?
Because I'm gonna tell it to that's what I say to my daughter because I love my daughter. I wouldn't.
Okay, you love your daughter, but why automatically did you make them ugly?
I didn't say what's gonna.
That was my question.
What's called it? Anybody, whether they black, white, or anybody, if somebody just jumps on my daughter, what's called it, I might say, maybe they jealous because you're prettier than them. It has nothing to do with them being black. You made it about them being black.
Okay.
I said, girl, if somebody jump on my daughter right now, it'll probably be a white girl because the situation where she goes to schools and stuff. But so I didn't even bring up black girls at all. Not at all. You brought up black girls. You made the only person who could possibly want to jump on my daughter is a black girl, and I'm like, no, my daughter is pretty. Maybe any girl who.
Oh, now it's any girl. Now it's any girl. Okay,
it is any girl. I'm saying that's what I was saying.
Okay.
Any girl.
Now it's any girl.
The second thing is you trying to make it seem like the way my wife came into the situation is we were talking about what George said about black people not getting over shit, getting over all the things that I feel like have systemically hold them back from getting where they need to go. And he was like, well, you got over it because you married a white woman. You started that whole narrative. You started the whole fucking shit. And you got to take accountability for that. I know you stand on your circle. You're not unapologetic or whatever, but you started that shit. I didn't bring up shit about having a white wife. I didn't bring up shit about that. All I said was, I was saying my view on why there is an issue with me saying, with people saying, black people get over shit. And you brought it to and then throughout the whole thing, it was all about, I could bring up anything not related to my white wife. It related to things that are going on in the community. It was like, well, you know, I'm more black than you. I've never cracked my legs up before white dude. It was just like, why does that have to do with the shit I'm talking about, the redlining, the history of slavery, there's things like that? What does that have to do with that? You made it about that. I didn't do that. I would never make it about that because I know people who some people would like you would jump all over that shit and make and run with that shit. I never made it about color of my wife.
People like me,
kids,
people like me would jump over all over and make it. So people have done that before to you, correct?
Nobody. You know what the thing is? Only person.
People have made an issue about you having a white wife in your community, correct? It's happened before. It's happened before on the block with Jen, correct?
Listen, let me.
It's happened before you set eyes on me, correct? It's yes or no.
Let me get this out.
It's happened before, correct?
In the way you did it, no.
Black people have come at you. I highly doubt that black women haven't dragged your ass. I highly doubt that you haven't been dragged by black women before. I highly doubt it. When you and I first started talking, when you and I first started talking, I had asked you via DM, okay? You told me via DM, my wife is white. Does that change anything? I know that changes stuff. And I was like, I don't give a fuck, Damien. I don't give a fuck. You automatically thought, because you were up here playing Malcolm X. We all brought it up. We all brought it up.
People jumped on it because the other person wasn't here, and
I did not. That night, Damien, are you mad that you married a white woman? Are you mad?
What? So what are you doing?
Are you mad that you married a white woman? Are you mad? Because that's not because if I married out, I'm not defending my decision to anybody. This sounds and looks to everybody watching like a blatant insecurity you have as a black man laying with a white woman. This has nothing to do with me.
Don't do that.
This has nothing to do with me. No, you don't do that. You don't do that. You need my approval. This is weird. This is weird.
I need your approval.
You need my approval. That is why you lurked me for months, even after I unfriended you. Dame, what's your real issue? What's the matter, papi? ¿Qué pasó? ¿Qué pasó? What's your real problem, baby?
The real talk is.
What's the real talk? Tell me. What's the real problem? You here? You back here? Matter of fact, look, watch this, baby. Watch this, baby. I know we got all the excuses in the world. This is what you want, papi? This is what you want, papi? What you want, baby? You here with me now. You here with mommy. You're here. Everybody hang back. I see you backstage. Here I am, papi. What you want? I'm here. I'm here. Tell me. What hurt you? Tell me where I hurt you, baby. Tell me where I'm here, papi. I'm here. I'm here, baby. I'm here. Listen, I know you missed me. You weren't able to get on the panel, but you were still lurking. I'm here, puppy. I'm here. What is it?
You would have let me up anytime I
want. What happened? That's right. That's right, baby. I would have let you up anytime, but you here now. You here now. We here together. What's good? What's good, Damien? You here? It's just me and you, baby. Forget all these people. You finally back. You finally back. You don't gotta lurk my stories, baby. You here. You here,
No,
baby.
I'm not lurking your story. The
Yeah.
fact that you
Yeah, you
screenshotted
here.
the fact is
Yeah, no, I
because
just
I
found,
am not
but
lurking no.
I'm sorry, Papi, I just found it strange because you went from being here every single night. You were here every single night, baby. And then you ran off and then you had to stick to your guns. So then I think you found solace in being able to watch my stories because you know it wouldn't be right for you to come back here because you had to stand on your square about the Becky, right? And then, but we're here.
You're more than
We
right.
here. We here. Okay.
You're
You
more than
good? What else
Yeah.
you need, baby? What
Like
else you
crack.
need?
Like crack.
What
I
else
couldn't
you,
give it up.
what else you, well now you here. Take a good take a good inhale. You here. You here. What else? What else you need, Damien? What else you want to discuss?
Like I said,
Damien?
the
What
whole,
you said?
the whole reason for bringing it up here was a simple fact that if you go back and watch the show, you realize you came to my children a little bit foul. And other people saw it, reached out to me and said, this shit, people in your comments said that shit was foul.
Oh, you mean after you left that little after you left that little bitchy comment like, hey everybody, thanks for your support.
Sorry, I'm sorry I hurt your feelings.
The type of mad that we get, but you here, baby. I know you missed the block. It's been months. It's been months. What else you need, Damien?
You know what?
What else? What?
Just admit you got mad, huh? Didn't you?
Yes.
Little mad.
Yes.
Hurt a little bit. Hurt
Yes. I got so mad.
Hurt the feelings. A little bit.
Yes.
A little bit.
Yes. Yes. I'm so happy you're back. That's why I unfriended you. Yes. I'm so happy you're back.
I mean,
yeah. Now you're
okay.
here. Now you're
Okay.
here with me. Okay.
Good.
What else? What else, Damien?
Like I said.
Is that it?
All I'm saying, but
What
you
you
never. So get this straight. You never admitted that that the hypocrisy of what you just said. What happened?
Hypocrisy. I like a lot of syllables. Say it again.
Big word. Hypocrisy. Big word.
Oh. Say it one more time. Ay, Dios mío. Say it one more time.
Word. It's a big word.
Oh my God. What else is big, Damien? Come on. You here, baby. What else is big?
What meaning behind
it.
You know?
Huh?
A lot of meaning behind it.
Huh?
I get it. I get it.
Okay. Yeah.
I get it.
All right. Is this your permanent welcome? Are you gonna come visit us more often? Huh?
I don't know. Well, no, like I said, but the thing about me is,
what?
I think you have this like finite way of looking at shit. I'm not two dimensional, so I can still watch the show. I just didn't want to be a part of it. But something sparked me to where I was like, hold up.
Finite. I like that. Finite. I like that. You got your thesaurus. That's for damn sure.
And it seems like,
man, listen.
What's happening now is you're deflecting, which is cool. It happened.
Well, okay, what else do you need? Oh, my baby Lily had to go. Good night, doll. We will talk. I did want to debrief, but it's okay. All right, what else, Damien? Because we're gonna close out. What you want to lead the people with?
I got to go talk to my wife real.
I'm serious.
He's like, I gotta go talk to my wife.
Serious about whether or not you could admit that it's hypocrisy to do that.
Okay.
To you don't see it.
Okay.
I can't see it. It is what it is. You don't see the hypocrisy in it.
Okay.
You don't see that. Somebody came mentioning your family in passing, but you can.
Damien, we gotta close. We're at the 3-hour mark. Do you have anything else?
I'm just saying.
That's it.
Can you admit that?
Okay, we're at the 3-hour mark, babe. What do you?
Is that a yes or no? And that'd be we all be good.
Okay, all right. Where's your wife? Where's your wife?
She sleep.
She sleep?
Yeah.
Here's what I want you to do: nudge her, and ask her to try, and give you what it is that you need from me right now.
Wow.
Ask her to try. Ask her to try because where are you? East Coast or West Coast? You East Coast or West Coast?
I'm in
Texas.
Central.
Central. You Central? What time is it over there?
Almost
what
11.
Time is it?
Almost 11.
It's almost 11, and you're on the block with Jen. So your wife is asleep. Go in there, nudge her a little bit. See if you can get that out your system. I can't do it for you. I'm not interested in doing it for you.
I think
so
you just did.
Go.
What they do?
MRM, you ain't shit. You ain't shit. Woo! Welcome to the block, bitches.
Yeah.
Good night, Damien.
I'm sorry I hurt you.
Good night, Damien. Good night, Damien. You should have married Black. Always bet on Black, baby. All right, guys. With that said, this is the Black, baby. Tristan, you ain't shit. Tristan, you ain't shit.
I see nothing.
Oh my God, Tristan, you ain't shit.
Yeah, well, hey,
Shit.
really appreciate that. I got to get ready to go. Hey, babe, get ready to get up. No, I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. Clip that shit, bitches. Clip that. Do reaction videos to that shit. All right. We gonna always put on a show on the block, coño. Clip that shit, pendejos.
You have to make that a short or something, because
Oh, you know I am, but for everybody else fucking does it.
I'm not trying to laugh. I'm not, and I know Damien's watching it. No hate against you, but Dame, you started to scare me because it looked like you really started.
You saw me, you saw him wearing down, right? He was like,
his face changed and everything.
That's the magic of women.
I'm sorry, y'all. Hey, y'all have a good night.
That's the magic of women.
Your Renaissance man ain't right, yo. Okay.
Woo! Tristan, I don't know what you're gonna have her. I don't know how you're gonna take us out of that one.
Okay.
I don't know how you gonna take on the Block with Jen Cash App. If you enjoyed that, don't forget, hit me on the Block with Jen Cash App. Okay. Send mama a smoothie for that. That was a hell of a performance. Okay. If you didn't super chat already. Hi, No Saint. How you doing?
Wait. All I'm saying is I'm gonna call it out because they're gonna call out in the chat. Dame got light skin privilege because everybody knows a date with you is $100.
Very right.
That was a date. That was probably a date to him.
Okay.
I was not wrong. I was good. But yo, we gotta clip that shit for real. Nah, that shit is nuts. All jokes aside, like it just goes to what I said before. People have issues prior to camming up on our panel, and I think that because I'm very abrasive, like I trigger people. I trigger something about me or the way I said it, or I'm abrasive, or I remind them of somebody or something, or I make them think about their life a certain way. And that's not the goal. I like people to improve. I say things because I'm a tough love type of person, but people get triggered. I just think it's a little weird that he's been lurking for months. That incident happened many, many months ago. A lot of shit was said on that panel by a lot of people, but he has, honestly speaking, he has said before that he's caught shit because he married a white woman. And that's why I say that has nothing to do with me. But it's just the way I speak. It makes it sound 10 times worse. But come on, I've called No Saint a cracker, a devil, a fucking colonizer. I mean, it's just how it goes down here. But I'm telling you, my Damien's issue is not what I said that night. It's not. It's not.
Well,
what you got to say, No Saint?
No, I was just when I saw him come up here, I didn't realize like he was I thought he was back. I thought, okay, he's time heals all wounds and everything like that. And I was kind of hoping because I like him. I like him. I like different opinions, and I thought it couldn't hurt. But yeah, and I do think that obviously what he heard and what both of you were talking about, the communication. I guess what I'm saying is that you both had different experiences to what happened that day, and you both took it. And I'm sort of stuttering because it's late, but I guess what I'm saying is that Jen, I don't know, Jen. I'm just looking at I'm just like, listen. Let's not rehash it. Let's just say, okay. I mean, it could have. I know it wouldn't have made as good of a show, but it could have been like, listen, if that's what you heard, that's not what I meant, or he could, or whatever. And then, but.
And No Saint, I don't disagree. I agree with you. Like that's why you know, I gave him the floor to see what he had to say. That's why I was like, what you got to say to us, No Saint? Because I'm sorry, Dame, because I really thought he was going to come up in here and be like, my bad, the way I left, that shit I left in your comments. Like, I was cool. Like, we have differences. We go away, we come back, and everything's cool. But he went out like a bitch. And that's why I put him in that box. Because after he left here, he left bullshit in my comments like, yeah, she came after my family and my wife. And that was a fucking bold-faced lie. And that's what I didn't like about what he did. The argument could have blew over. The argument could have blew over. He could have came back. We would have been, you know, he's great for the panel, right? But he's been up here plenty and has fucking roasted people plenty. But when the tables were turned, he got sensitive on us. And then he projected it on me. Although the whole panel was like, ain't your wife white? You ain't Malcolm X, blah, blah, blah. That whole shit exploded. But he turned it on me, but then kept lurking for months and months and months and months. So I'm like, he's a fucking hypocrite. Because if you don't like Jen, then stay the fuck away from Jen. But he tried to tell the world he didn't like Jen, and he lurking in the stories, and then he's watching us for months and months and months. And then, I don't know, the shit between Rod and I made his dick hard, and he was like, I'm bold, now I'm going up there. No. If you just want to come back to the block, shoot me a DM and be like, yo, misunderstanding. You said some shit. I said some shit. I would have been like, shit happens. And we would have kept pushing. But he went out like a bitch. And that's what I didn't like. Shit happens. We have misunderstandings. But I don't like how he went out. No me gusta.
Well,
my God.
We'll definitely see if he comes back. I would like to see him come back. We don't have to vote on that one. Who were we supposed to vote? We were supposed to vote somebody.
Some chick from way back. The vegan chick way back.
Oh, that's right. Veganista, right? Veganista.
Yeah, I'm sure she's still watching too. They all leave to watch. It's weird.
I mean,
it's
her
weird.
public left. I mean,
Tristan?
That was her public defender, no? Wasn't Dame her public defender?
Yes, ironically. Yes, that was her public defender. It's just don't go. Listen, I don't care, man or woman. We could disagree to the high heavens, but don't go out like a bitch. Don't go out like a bitch. No one attack. I wouldn't even let people sit up here. Oh, you attack my wife and my family, and oh no, it wasn't my wife. Oh, you attack my kids. Wasn't nobody attacking his kids. We don't even play like that up here. The reason why I went after Rod is because he got spicy, and don't bring up my fucking grandson. And then when you bring up my grandson, then I got to bring up your wife. Like, it's tit for tat. But that night, the debate was race. And because he's married to a white woman, he was hypersensitive about talking about race. It's no different if I was married to a white man. If I was married to a white man and then the conversation was about race and someone told me, what the fuck do you know? Your husband is white. I got to hold that. Because I'm like, well, they are right. I am married to a white man. So it's like, I can't go power to the people. It's just human nature that people are going to question your resume. It's human nature.
I totally understand what you're saying. Although I think that two things can be true, right? He can be married to a white woman and still be pro-black. I mean, I believe he can still be pro-black. That's my opinion. Okay. That's all. You know, I mean, but it is a weak spot that people can pick on. But it might not. But that doesn't make whatever he's saying or whatever whoever's saying. What you said, if you were married to a white man, it wouldn't mean your experience is not real or your point's not validated because you're married to someone else. Because I just think that love is, I mean, we sort of choose who we fall in love with, I guess. But you can fall in love with anybody, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You can.
Yeah, if you choose. And it's like David Dillon, right on time. David Dillon's wife is white. And he listens to these conversations. He agrees with some shit. He disagrees with some shit. But Dame is sensitive about his situation. He's sensitive. And I'm not responsible. Yeah. It's like I say all the time. I'm not responsible for your trauma. You're responsible for your trauma. I'm going to say whatever the fuck I want to say. You're responsible for if you get to, what did we talked about Puerto Rican women? What the fuck that got to do with me?
Yeah.
What does that have to do with me?
Well, and go ahead.
Well, to be fair, right? When you date outside your race and you say you're pro-black, that comes up every time. If you're married to a white person, that's going to come up.
Right.
Like Jen is quote unquote is in black spaces, right? Every time she comes on the panel, they're like, "Why are you here?" And she answers and moves on. That's what you have to do. You can't wear it. It's the internet.
Right. That was my thing, that he wore it in a strange way. Like he carried that shit with him all these months, which is why I started trolling him, because what is it about me? You're way too concerned about what I thought 6 months ago.
Yeah. Well, that's a great question. That is a great question that he would have to ask himself for sure. But this is an interesting thing, because this is something that, again, white people will never have to deal with in this country. And that is, I can marry whoever I want and nobody's going to say, are you anti-white? I mean, maybe the KKK. I don't give a fuck about those guys, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, the majority of people aren't going to have a problem with it. But if you're black, especially black, I would say Latinas don't even have to go through it like black people have to go through it. And you marry
No,
someone.
we do, because if we marry white, like I'm not talking about the whiteinos, but there are family members that be like, ese blanco, you know what I mean? It's like, or ese gringo, like we have words for that too, but it's never as bad as what happens in the black community. But the scars are deeper in the black community.
Yeah,
The scars
yeah.
are deeper, and the scars are everlasting and happening. In 2023, a black woman could go into an office building and get insulted or called nigger, or someone can talk about her hair in 2023. So when that black woman sees a black man walk in with a white woman and he's throwing up his black power fist, she's gonna feel the waves. Those scars run deeper.
Yeah.
It's not science. It's not
Yeah.
fucking science.
Yeah.
It's
But
present.
and that's what I guess was I'm getting is I can understand, or at least, I can understand like how someone would be sensitive to someone, questioning their what word am I looking for?
They're
Questioning
pro-blackness.
no, not pro-blackness, but their
Oh.
their allegiance to their race.
Right. Okay.
Their allegiance to their race. And that's why I think, and that's something that obviously this is kind of cool little sideshow that we're having here, but that's kind of like something that, I don't have to go through.
Right.
It's, I don't. But
we all have to go through something, no saying. We all
Yeah.
have to go through something. And again, your trauma is your responsibility. It's not mine. Like if what I say bothers people to the point where they lurking for months, and you're not even built for the planet then. You're not built for the planet. Because people are going to say shit about him everywhere he goes. And he twisted some shit here today. He twisted it because before he was trying to pit like, well, my daughter's pretty. That's why. You know what I mean? Like without saying the mixed shit, but she's mixed. You know what I mean? Like he danced around here, which is fine. Which is fucking fine. You know what I'm saying? But you're not going to try to paint me in a bad light because you're insecure about marrying a white woman and now you're catching hell for it. Because I'm not even a black woman. Why are you coming at me? I'm sure black women go with you about your white wife. Why you got to beef with me? It's weird.
But people have to remember, right? Jen is what I call an angry genius. She doesn't remember shit. She doesn't remember anything. But when she gets hot and get hot and heavy where she is pissed, she remembers the exact time, date, photogenic memory, temperature of the room, and that's why when she started hitting exactly what happened on the panel, it was like he was like, oh.
No, Tristan, you're right, because I didn't remember until he fucking pissed me off. I was like, oh, wait a minute. You're the guy that said it is weird.
And it's never a good thing to get.
I'm not saying he did, but from what it looked like he was trying to manipulate off of you not remembering till you got mad. It was like, wait a minute.
Or maybe that's the way he remembered it. You know what I mean?
That's why you're the saint of the block. No saint. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. You're just but we need you because we will scorch earth. We need you. Respectfully, we need you because we will scorch earth. There'll be a shootout on the block every day.
It's always hard for me to watch when, especially like most women are really articulate and it's really hard to see a guy and a girl verbally fight because it's gonna be a mess. Because I was just like, God, the amount of stuff coming out of your mouth, just like, oof.
Yeah, and I don't, it's forked tongue for real. And I don't have no real beef with Damien. He's a blip on the screen. He's a guy on YouTube we spoke to for a couple months. I don't have no beef with. He hasn't violated me. I haven't violated him or anything like that. It was no real disrespect. It was, misunderstandings. But I really do think that he has a bigger beef with me than I have with him. I don't think about Damien. Haran is right. We don't talk about Damien. Now I see him pop up in the stories every now and then, and I'm like, I thought you didn't like me. But nobody talks about Damien. So the fact that he was seething and pounced on the opportunity, to come in here and try to call me a hypocrite was bullshit. I don't even have a beef with Rod. Like, Rod could come back here. That's what happens. People catch strays on the block. That is what happens. So watch your mouth. If you're not going to watch your mouth, be prepared, right, for reciprocation. That's what happens here. But Damien's been up here plenty. He was insulting Annalicia. He went after other people. It's just when the tables turned, he wanted to cry foul. But he's been up here roasting people plenty. I mean, he was poking at Anna. Come on. Now we're going to act like we don't know what happens here? Almer favor.
I mean, everybody pokes at everybody except
Yeah.
you because everybody knows you're hot-tempered. I'm like, she's a thug.
That's not true. Y'all poking me. Tristan, you poking me.
That's because I'm your little brother.
Haran pokes at me too.
I know I get away with it. That's why I do it.
Well, good. At least have a freaking rapport before you start poking at me. Yeah,
Exactly.
Dame is cool, but I'm not his issue. On the block with Jen is not. On the block with Jen is some dope shit, but it's not his issue. That's not. I'm not Dame's issue. It's not his issue. I mean, I damn near had him coming on himself when I changed the fucking subject. I'm not his issue. I'm not his issue. His tip is wet right now. I'm not his issue.
That was yeah. That was something.
George missed it. George missed it. He gonna be mad he wasn't here.
He's gonna be like this. He's like, you know what, Jen? I saw the replay, and my gosh,
No saint was imagining Salma Hayek. He was like, ooh, I wonder if Emma's like, where you at? Why you listen? Never know what you're gonna get here. The block is like a box of chocolates. On that note, we the fuck out of here. We've been here 3 hours now, pushing
Tristan.
for 4. Come back tomorrow. Never know who's gonna pull up. Come back tomorrow.
Okay. Well, in honor of American history and the topic for the last hour, y'all remember that show Pokemon?
Yes.
Y'all remember the theme song, like, gotta catch 'em all, gotta catch 'em all?
Yes.
Put me on the big screen.
That's fucked up.
If we're going down, we're going down together.
That's so fucked up.
Love you all. Class dismissed.
Good night.
Good night. See you guys tomorrow. Oh my God, Tristan. All right, guys. Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? All right, guys. Don't forget, hit that Cash App if you were entertained. Come back here tomorrow. Don't forget, every Saturday, Block Talent Battle, 8 p.m. Eastern. Bring your talents, rap, act, sing, whatever you do. Pull on up. You have a chance to win $100 cash. If you're wondering what Block Talent Battle is, check my gallery and you can see the talent we've had prior. Thank you so much for holding me down, chat. You guys had me dying this whole time. Let your friends know about the show. Have them come over. Thank you for always holding me down. We can't do this without you, chat. I appreciate you so much, okay? All right, guys. So, los vemos mañana.